Why the hell did she come up? Ooh, no clue. All right, let me get out of that. And it's just that cop that slept with all of those people. Okay, let me see if I can get this last stream going once folks begin filtering in. So we'll give them a minute and type in rerun if you're watching rerun because that's where you're at right now. Nobody's in here yet. So we're gonna do a weekend review this Thursday. So we're doing a weekend. Normally do these on the weekends, but we're gonna do one today, and we'll make it happen. Thank you, Edic Von Edic. Appreciate that. Give me a minute though. Get this other stream going, and we should be up momentarily. In fact, just to get it going quicker, I'm gonna start all the other streams up. So let me get this going here. There's a bunch of things in regards to a weekend review. There's a bunch of stuff I want to run by you. I mean, it's just been a busy week. So some of this stuff is going to come from other lives we talked about, but some of you guys are aware, folks are aware that Trump renamed Lake Ontario. Some of this shit is crazy, but just give me a minute and I want to hear from you guys because some days I don't even know what to say. I mean, some of this shit is beyond the opinion I could even give. I mean, it's some of the stuff we're doing now is so unusual. I don't have an opinion on it. Trump doing more cringe shit. somebody, somebody said Trump doing what? Look, I'm going to get your opinion on it because, like I said, some of the things he is doing now, it's above my mental capacity. You know, some of you guys call me a fucking idiot and things like that all the time. Today, I'm gonna be that idiot because I'm going to say some of the stuff he's doing is above my mental capacity. And when you say he's done cringe stuff, there are two things that has been done that I think are quite cringe, and we are just about ready to go live and talk about it. So I'll go ahead and fire up the final platform. And 3, 2, 1. What up, folks? Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim, the handsome liberal, depending on who you ask. Hopefully, you guys have had a wonderful Thursday. We're getting close to the weekend, getting close. We're not quite there yet. I wish, in fact, I was so focused on the weekend. I originally thought this was a Friday night politics session, but it's not. It's Thursday. So we're going to do a week in review one day early, and there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot. And because it's a week in review, I'm sure plenty of you folks are going to add to the host of topics I have. Just a bunch of stuff. So let me go right and get right into it. And good evening, Geno Cal, I think that says Geno Cell or whatever the case is. Good evening to you. So many things going on this week. It's the age of Trump. So in the age of Trump, there's never a dull moment. There's never a dull moment in the age of Trump. And let's just real quick, because I'm sure during the live we're going to get our share of butt Bidens. But I want to ask you folks something in regards to butt Biden. I'm going to get a mixed. Well, I'll wait because what I'm going to ask is, do you miss the slower grinding politics of the Biden administration? But I'm not going to ask you yet because folks are still filtering in. I'm going to take a poll on it and see how many of you folks favor things really busy under Trump, or do you miss the slower, more boring atmosphere of, say, President Biden? We'll talk about that. I see Big Boss says, hell no. Well, we'll wait until there's a few hundred folks in here. It takes a minute for the algorithm, the show to kick in and notifications to go out, all of that good shit. So we'll give it a minute. We probably got over the course of these platforms, look like a little bit over 100 people. So we'll wait till folks get in here. I'll take a few comments real quick. You guys know how the show is ran. We don't take callers until 10,000. I'll read a few of the comments and then get into the show. He's not doing shit, So what's bust, says Arnita? Well, the border secure, right? You do want the border secure. You don't want illegal immigrants in the country. You don't want anybody just coming in without us knowing who they are. You don't want biological males playing in female sports. I feel like I'm flipping already because I'm running out of shit to say, folks. I'm running out of shit to say. Fuck that border, says Furback. Why would you say fuck the border of your own country? Why would you say that? Do you really want a country where anyone can come and go as they please? You don't see any danger in that? I don't know about fuck the border. That's saying a bit much. But I will agree with Duke saying the border is secure and I'm still broke. That resonates. That does resonate. What's happening, Tim? Here's hoping that Biden gets the last laugh. The Grim Reaper going to get it right soon. Well, the Grim Reaper may be looking at Biden before Trump. And I did a short that's gotten a lot of wicked comments, some favorable, many unfavorable. I stated that you're likely to know when Biden is gone because Trump is going to celebrate his death. If Trump is still cognitively healthy and Biden passes first, Trump is going to celebrate his death. I'm making that prediction right now that if Biden croaks before Trump and Trump is still cognitively healthy, Trump is going to say something horrible when Biden passes. I'm going to make that announcement right now. And I'm going to tell you something. My beloved MAGA, you know, I love talking to MAGA. They will defend that. They will, no matter what Trump says when Biden passes, no matter how horrible it is, they will defend it. They defended Trump saying things against John McCain after he had passed. They defend President Trump saying about Rob Rayner. He said, I'm glad Mueller is dead. When he found out Biden had cancer, he said, I have no sympathy for him. They have defended all of that. So if something happens to Biden, just, father time or some illness, they will defend it. Trump will say something awful and MAGA will defend it. I understand he was trying to prosecute him, or I understand he stole the election, or I understand for some reason, no matter what it is, MAGA will understand it. Keep in mind, MAGA also understood when he started attacking the Pope. MAGA understood that. Middle of Fifth Avenue. That is all I can say. Middle of Fifth Avenue. MAGA will understand. I mean, probably the only thing I've seen that they didn't quite understand is him portraying himself as Jesus. But they did get over it really quick. Even when it comes to not releasing the Epstein files, for the most part, MAGA is understanding of that. They're kind of adding stuff on. Maybe his life is in danger if he releases. Maybe he's not releasing it for that reason or this reason, but Biden or what. But they're not holding Trump accountable for not releasing the Epstein files. So the middle of Fifth Avenue is evident. But we'll get on with the show. This is I thought it was Friday night, so I had a Friday night politics session in mind, but this is going to be a weekend review on the Thursday's edition. Trump is wrong for trying to take away Trump wrong to take away black man from the Navy ship. Yes, you're talking about Doris. What is his name? Doris Dory Miller. We did a show on that, and I've done some shorts on it. You're talking about the World War II vet that when they were under attack, the Japanese in Pearl Harbor, he grabbed an artillery gun that he was not trained to use because you're African American. You can't even do that. Started shooting at aircraft until he ran out of bullets and then dragged a lot of his comrades, including his mortally wounded captain, as the safety. And they were going to name a carrier after him. He was awarded the Navy Cross. You see him pictured on the screen behind me wearing that cross. And they want to name a carrier after him. And now it looks like the Navy under the Trump administration are considering undoing that, naming the carrier after President Trump instead, who's never served in the armed forces. So go figure. Anyway, going on to the show. First of all, somebody in the comments originally said Trump had did something that was cringeworthy. And yeah, this one is, in my opinion, somewhat cringeworthy. This is probably a MAGA fan favorite. I know MAGA likes kind of stuff, so I'm gonna go ahead and start out with this because I think it is a fan favorite for my MAGA viewers.
We're going to be changing the name of Lake Ontario, effective immediately, to Lake America. That's going to take place right now as I sign the order. Do you have anything to say about it, Ben?
Yes, sir. So this is a straightforward but important executive order. It directs Secretary Burgum and the Department of the Interior to update the Geographic Names Information Service to reflect that the lake once known as Lake Ontario will, from this day forward, be known as Lake America. This is a lake that has most of its volume in the United States. The deepest parts of the lake sit in United States territory, so this will reflect that it's an American lake.
Thank you. Okay.
And he signs it. I just want to watch him sign it. I haven't seen all of this.
Okay. Thank you very much. And we filed all the necessary papers, documents, everything else. We notified all of the various people that we have to notify. So we've done everything that you have to do. And this is official, effective immediately. Do you have any questions, anybody?
Mr. President.
Yes.
That video yesterday, crossing out Lake Ontario and Reading Lake America, it's been seen by about 30 million people, maybe more, across all the social media platforms. What message are you sending to Canada with this move today, and why was this such an important thing for you to do?
It's an interesting question. No message. As you know, Canada's been ripping us off for a long time on trade, sadly. Even defend Canada for nothing. We don't get it. We defend Canada, and they understand. Well, we bought icebreakers. They'd like to use them. We have 11 brand new icebreakers coming in. They'd want to be treated. But they're not a state, but they want to be treated like they're a state. And so we just can't do that anymore. We lose on average over the last 15 years, $60 billion a year carrying Canada. So we just can't do it.
Okay, so I don't want to play any more of it, but listen, I'm going to tell you something. In regards to the ongoing fight against abuse, started with Elon Musk and Doge under the Trump second administration. Anybody supporting this, probably on the red side of the aisle, I don't think any Democrat's going to support this, but anyone supporting this, I'm just straight up tell you, I don't want to hear shit about waste, fraud, and abuse anymore. I do not want, you have zero credibility. If you support this, you have zero credibility to complain about waste, fraud, and abuse going forward, because this is a waste of money. I don't know how many signs they're going to have to change, highway signs, maps, books. Every penny spent on this is a waste of money. And you got to assume at the very least it's going to be thousands of dollars, if not millions. But every single penny spent on this, and we can add the Gulf of America in that if you want. But if you are a stickler against waste, fraud, and abuse, and you're claiming that this is a good idea, you are full of shit. There's no other way for me to say it. You are full of shit, because this money could have been used for a million more better purposes than what they're doing. This is nothing but revenge, period. This has nothing to do with how you feel about Ontario, whether or not it should have been named Lake America or what side of the border more than Lake. None of that. Had Canada bowed to Trump, this is not happening, period. This is only due to revenge. This is literally like handing a crying baby a bottle. That's all this is. If you support this and you're claiming waste, fraud, and abuse going forward, I don't even want to hear a goddamn thing about the Leering Center at this point. If you're supporting some shit like this is ridiculous. I mean, if you want to get a laugh on, okay, fine. but you're going to get a laugh on at the taxpayer's expense. You are literally paying for this. This isn't a fucking comedy show. You're going to pay for this to happen. And if you live long enough, you're going to eventually pay for this to be reversed. Your tax money is covering this. This is almost a 100% guarantee. I don't think I can come up with anything else that I could predict with as much certainty and confidence as I can that this name will not last. I'm probably 99.99999% confident that within a few years, this will be reversed. The minute he is gone, that name is gone. This is ridiculous. So if you're supporting this, you don't zero credibility going forward. Anything regarding waste, fraud, and abuse. Anything. This is not necessary, and it is a complete fucking waste of money. Looking in the comments, it is 100% distraction. Somebody say it's a distraction. I'm not going to deny it's a distraction, but it's a waste of money. I mean, at a time when the economy sucks, people can't afford health care, housing, all that shit. We're about to spend money on this. Even if you are tired of TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, you're tired of liberal tears, et cetera, take the liberals out the picture. Tell me how you're supporting this. Even if you're MAGA, you think Trump is the best president in history. Tell me how you're supporting this. Tell me how you're supporting this other than, I like Trump so much, I'm just going to agree with anything he does. Tell me how this benefits America in any fucking way at all. It's just a waste of money. I mean, we're talking about cattle ranchers that voted for Trump, now competing with Argentina because of his actions. Those folks could have used this fucking money. I don't care if each one of them got $5 a piece. This is going to a waste of money. Maps and everything got to be changed for this shit. Highway signs and everything that will eventually be reversed back. You're going to pay for them to be changed. You're going to pay for them to be reversed. And you're going to do that on the southern border too with the Gulf of America. All of that's going away as well. You're going to pay for all of that shit. You pay to have change. You pay to have signs changed to say Alligator Alcatraz. They put highway signs up for that. That's all gone now. All of that's your tax money. I don't want to hear shit about waste, fraud, and abuse anymore. You're happy paying for all this stuff just to get a laugh, but then you bitch about how important it is to spend our tax money wisely. No, you're making up shit. Anyway, continuing on. And yeah, I'm a little angry on this one because I think it's so fucking stupid. I like to be able to see both sides of an event. I don't mind calling out liberals when they fuck up. I'm okay with playing devil's advocate. There is nothing positive about that. There is no way to spin that other than we just throwing away money so we can temporarily upset some Canadians. That's all it is. And like I said, I don't know how much money we're throwing away to do that, but every penny of it is a waste. And I'm going to continue on with that exact same theme. If I can get some audio out of here. But I'm going to continue. This is yet another one of these deals where the theme is almost the same. And I'll see if I get my device to
tear down the Kennedy Center in the court battle over putting the president's name on the building. Jay O'Brien is at the Kennedy Center this morning with the latest. Jay, good morning.
Wait, good morning to you. In an extraordinary court filing, the Trump administration threatening that it could tear down the iconic Kennedy Center unless a judge greenlights the president's planned renovations and lets him put his name on the building. Lawyers for the Justice Department calling this iconic venue, in their words, quote, dangerously dilapidated and decrepit, and arguing that without Trump stepping in, the venue may need to be demolished and replaced with something like an outdoor amphitheater. That's despite the fact that Congress just last year for renovations to the Kennedy Center. Lawyers, Democratic Congress, who brought this lawsuit. Remember, a judge ordered that Trump's handpicked board here at the Kennedy Center remove his name from the building in May. The board has now offered an alternative, saying it would leave John F. Kennedy's name up top and put renovated and restored by President J. Trump. But as to whether it's up to the Congress, the judges said, whether this building's name should be removed. Robin.
Not because he doesn't get his name in the building. He wants to tear down the fucking building. Why? Why does anybody care about this? And I see in the comments, I just want to point this out. One of my viewers did say, I hope he tears down the building. I forgot, I didn't see the name of it, but people that don't live in DC is cheering this stuff on. I mean, this is going to cause jobs. Once again, you're going to pay for this out of your taxpayer money. Like, where's the America First in any of this shit? I mean, like, I'm not addressing this directly to my MAGA folks. You guys apparently, maybe I'm getting this wrong, and I hope to get some MAGA up here to correct me, but it seems to me that you're willing to sacrifice the economy in your own finances just so you can laugh at the left. As long as you're laughing at the left, you don't give a fuck if you're broke and all your money is being wasted. That's what it appears to be. Because yes, this stuff gives you a one-up, at least psychologically, I guess, of creating some liberal tears and being able to laugh at the left. You're paying for all of it, though. You're paying for it. It's coming out of your tax money. So it does, and the economy is in tatters right now. So it does appear that MAGA is okay with suffering financially as long as they get to laugh at the left. I had a viewer on another platform and I clipped what she said. She's used it from a racial aspect. And this was a white woman. She said these folks would rather live in abject poverty than reside next to brown and black people. I'm not going that far, but it does appear that MAGA is willing to make some serious sacrifices just to get revenge on adversaries. I mean, in terms of what you actually voted for Trump for, he ain't accomplishing he's not accomplishing a whole lot of that at all, to the point where it's actually benefiting the average American. It's shit like this, where we get to laugh at the liberals for this, or we beat them in a court case, so we get to laugh at that. But what about the economy and your grocery prices? And that seems irrelevant. As long as you can laugh at the left, you're okay with that. So I do seem to see that's the way it looks, in my opinion. But hopefully I can get some MAGA on the show and help me out. So now we got a trade war with Canada, and we're paying to rename the Lake Ontario to Lake Lake America, as if Canada's not in America as well. This is what my viewer yesterday, what is his name? The really constitutional guy, Smokey. This is what he was talking about. All of these countries are part of America. So naming the Gulf to Gulf of America, okay, Mexico is an American country as well. So I don't know. To me, it's a waste of money, though. Anyway, continuing on, somebody says, good evening, watch the movie Wag the Dog, Tim. I'm understand. I haven't seen that. You're my third person to recommend that. MAGA feels Trump can do no wrong, says Regina. If the ones who are supporting this, yeah, it does seem that. And continuing on with the weekend review, we talked about this before, but this actually makes even more sense now that we're celebrating renaming lakes.
What do you have to say to U.S. farmers who feel that the deal is benefiting Argentina more than it is them, as they are
Argentina's fighting for its life, young lady. You don't know anything about it. They're fighting for their life. Nothing's benefiting Argentina. They're fighting for their life. You understand what that means? They have no money, they have no anything. They're fighting so hard to survive. If I can help them survive in a free world, Argentina, he's trying as he can, but don't make it sound like they're doing great. They are dying. All right? They're dying.
What do you mean by
What does that say to people in this country that can barely afford to pay gas or housing or fuel or healthcare costs? You're on TV talking about the Argentinian people are struggling. I mean, is there even an America first in what we're doing in regards to this? Because there are American farmers or cattle ranchers. Once we start purchasing beef from Argentina, every pound of that beef is competing with American cattle ranchers that supply beef in this country. Every pound of it. So now American cattle ranchers who overwhelmingly voted for Trump, you already know that, they are now competing with a Trump ally. And they voted for America first. Go figure. And I see in the comments somebody said don't eat the beef. So what, Colette, MAGA's going to be saying don't eat the beef and they voted for Trump? No, you fucked up. You voted your farm into peril. Go figure. I mean, just the farming community, overwhelming Republican, Trump supporters. You voted this guy in office, and he's now looking out for Argentine farmers. Wow. Go figure with that. In addition to that, before we start, tap the screen, get us up to 10,000. We'll take the first caller. DEI. What does that mean when you hear that? What comes to mind when you hear those acronyms? We covered this earlier this week. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is the official designation, but some say it also means didn't earn it. Getting a position because of your skin color, your sexual orientation, what religion, let's say you're Muslim, your gender, women getting it because you're a woman, getting it because you're gay or trans, getting it because you're Hispanic or black, or this is what people say. You're getting positions not because you had to merit, but solely because of who you are. Solely because of who you are. Nothing to do with merit, just because of who you are. MAGA's been against this. They've been talking about everybody from Kamala Harris on down, suggest that Kamala Harris also did not have the merit to get many of the positions she's had throughout her successful life. Certainly they're saying that about her being vice president and seeking the nation's highest office. Said the same thing about Letitia James, the Supreme Court Justice. DEI, you heard Charlie Kirk talking about it as well. MAGA does not like DEI.
On what happened with South Carolina. Of course, Senator Lindsey Graham died unexpectedly at age 71, and President Trump appointed his sister, Darlene, to fill his seat, but she's got to run for re-election, just like anybody would have.
She won.
And right now, she's in a runoff with one other Republican to see who's going to be the Republican nominee. She's not secured as the Republican nominee for the general election contest for the seat. They had a debate last night. This is two Republicans, Darlene and this guy Norman. And there was kind of a shocking moment when the issue of Taiwan came up. It was hosted by Newsmax, and my old colleague Greta Van Susteren asked the question. Watch this.
Senator, are Taiwan and the South China Sea national security issues for the United States? If so, why?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Are Taiwan and the South China Sea national security issues?
My device is freezing up, but
Are Taiwan and the South China Sea national security issues for the United States? And if so, why or how?
I'm just going to be honest here. I'm not on national security. I'm not that informed on national security. But I do support the military.
Oh God, I'm sorry. I know she's just pinch hitting, but that's disqualifying, is it not?
Now she won. She won. Trump gave her an endorsement, and that was enough. I forget the name of the guy she was running against, but he was a former congressman in South Carolina, and he was well respected up to the point where he supported Nikki Haley over Trump in the election back a couple of years ago or a few years ago. But all she got was Trump's endorsement. She has no experience, as you can tell. DEI. MAGA does not like DEI. Do you see some hypocrisy here? They're against waste, fraud, and abuse. They're against DEI, but for some reason, when it benefits them, they're okay. Look, I want to make I want to have a show where we are taking opinions from both sides and being fair, but some of this shit leaves you no choice but to start going left with some of this. Folks say that after Biden, people went to the right because Biden took the country too far to the left. What is this? This is exactly that. You're taking the country in some strange ass direction where it's like, how can you celebrate this? How the hell is this woman being propelled to one of the highest positions in the land, a senator? They're about to give her look, at the end of the day, let's be clear. She is being given a position solely because she'll do whatever Trump wants. That's it. That is her only bullet point on the resume. Her resume has her name and address on there. It don't even say will provide references upon request at the bottom because she don't have any of those. It just says her name and what you put at the top of her resume, and it says we'll do whatever Trump wants. That's the whole fucking resume. It doesn't even say we'll provide, references upon request. She don't even have any of those. Just straight DEI. They were all over Kamala Harris for DEI. And they're okay with this to the point where they went to the polls and elected this woman. Yikes. So anyway, this is a week in review for Thursday. I don't have, look, I'm able to see all sides of many things. I can't see all sides of this stuff. To me, this stuff is making no sense. Handsome conservative said some call him a legend. Some call him an icon. Some call him the wise man. I say he is the only man who is as humble as I am. All rise and put your hands together for the handsome liberal. I wish I could say that on AI, because I would start the show with that. Handsome conservative, appreciate your support. So in the comments, and thank you, handsome conservative. Billy Wife says no one ever knew he had a sister until he passed away. I mean, the people in South Carolina probably knew he had one. But no, she was certainly unknown at the national level. And they're trying to make her into a senator. If MAGA votes her into, if MAGA, well, they already done it. They've already done it. MAGA's already voted for it. Now you got to see what the rest of South Carolina does. But it's hard to argue after MAGA put her in there that they don't support DEI anymore. I think that argument is over with. If you're okay with her being in there, you can't complain about DEI. Miss Mo Better, good evening.
Tim, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Oh my God. Hold on, Tim.
Okay, she may have some audio problems. Okay, in the comments, MAGA is a special breed.
Can you hear me, Tim?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, what brings you up?
All the fuckery that we're watching.
Define fuckery. Give me an example of the fuckery.
The fuckery when they keep saying, they used to say, oh, the auto pen, poverty, oh, the DEI, oh, communism, oh, everything they accuse the left of doing is showing right in their face, and they denying it to the motherfucking death.
Yeah, I don't get it. I'm dying to get a MAGA viewer on here to explain this. I really am. I'm dying to get one on here because I don't understand it.
I would love to see the pretzel that they twist themselves into with this shit.
Yeah, I mean,
I would love it.
But do you believe this stuff will live on? Because I'm suggesting that after Trump is gone, the Gulf of America is going to go back. It's going to go back. I don't see it. Are you seeing it the way I am, or do you think? Let's say we put in J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio. This stuff named that way?
They don't know because they don't have as much power as Trump does.
I mean, if they're president, though, if one of them ends up taking the reins after Trump.
It doesn't matter. He still doesn't. They still don't have as power as Trump does. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? People has when it comes to stuff like they're going to have so much work to do to try to maintain and sustain the stuff he's done. They're not going to be able to do it. Now, you know why Trump is trying to put his name on everything now, because they know once he's dead and gone, the only thing that may have his name on it is his headstone.
Ooh. Well, with him putting his name on so many things, he's going to likely provoke a Democrat Congress in the future to actually pass a bill that says his name got to be taken down. I mean, he's putting his name on way too much stuff. I mean, so
yeah, he hasn't even served in the military. So you want to put your name on some type of vessels and shit like that? Like he's a fucking 5-year-old that has no manners, no moral. No fucking education. All he has a crooked state of mind is what he has. So it always appears that the crook wins.
Why?
It always appears win, but they don't. In the end, they suffer bad in the end.
But I must ask, because MAGA came to power, Trump came to power with MAGA being adamant that they didn't favor wasting our tax dollars. Why are they okay with this stuff?
Because they just as goofy as he is, if not worse. If I don't know what's worse, him or his supporters. Because the evidence is clear. It's clear that he's a fascist man. And yet they still twist themselves in the principle. You know what they're going to do? Oh, but Biden. Oh, but
Whoa,
Biden.
Thank you for that. But wait a minute. When you say, okay, because we the rebel in the comments, he says, why stop at bodies of water? How about changing Iran's name? So they want him to go further, sounds like.
He fucked around with Iran. He thought Iran was weak because they're a lot smaller than we are. They had a lot smaller military than we do. They had a lot less than we had, and they thought they was just gonna bow down to him. But I keep telling them, those people, they unalive for less. They unalive for less, and that's what happens when you have DEI in power. This exactly what we're seeing now is what happens with DEI in power.
Well, you don't. Do you see Trump himself as DEI?
Absolutely, with a mail order bride, and they keep talking about Kamala. Kamala was voted into her position also. How did she fuck a whole county in order to win her position?
Damn!
Like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, she is a cutie. I met her in person. She's a good-looking woman. I met her in person.
She's cute, and they can't handle it because half their wives don't look half as good, and then the other half is on Grindr. The other half is on Grindr looking for some cop.
Well, you obviously have a low opinion of MAGA, and Real Talk certainly appreciate that. Thank you very much, Real Talk, for that beautiful graphic. But listen, I don't think Trump is DEI. I think I would put Trump in the category. Hold on, hang on. Trump's first term wasn't terrible. Listen, I don't see him as DEI. I see him as somebody who has lost his way. I had a MAGA viewer that came in the comments on one of my shows who said Trump had a chance to be really good. He said, I just believe he put his hands into too many different events or cookie jars, and he's led to chaos. I can see it more along those lines.
First term, he got in there because there were checks and balances his first term.
Yeah.
And you know who fucked that up? Him.
Yeah.
When it was time to be an actual president, he dropped the ball. And they got 2 times as bad. They let him back in here to be a vengeful man with a vengeful heart. That's dangerous. Because he don't give a fuck who he has. He don't care who he has to sacrifice in the name of him being great. It's dangerous.
Well, there's no denying that Trump is vengeful, but I think MAGA favors that. In the comments, someone asked, one of my viewers, Critical says, why is it that Trump haters can never say anything smart? Well, before I go back to Ms. Mobetta, I'll answer that by saying, if it ain't favorable to Trump, you're going to think it's dumb. So, yeah, any Trump hater saying anything critical of Trump, you're going to think it's dumb. I mean, you guys don't even like Marjorie Taylor Greene anymore. So if a person's criticizing Trump, that's what they're saying is dumb because you kind of have the mindset that he's perfect. So I don't.
Somebody's not blowing the orange dust off his old wrinkled ass balls. They call him hate. Listen, we see that if y'all want to call me Antifa, absolutely, you call me Antifa. I am anti-fascist. I am. We don't need no fascist regime here. We don't need a DEI administration, which is who we have running a daggone White House right now.
Yeah.
Now tell me where I'm wrong. I read the definition of what fascism is the other day. You see how much they didn't pay attention to it, right? They didn't pay attention because he checked all of them boxes under fascism.
Well, kind of what I just told Critical on YouTube is that no, they're not going to pay attention to it. If you're saying something that's critical of Trump, I don't care if you just saying his hair doesn't look right. They're not going to listen to you. As Trump once said during his first term, he stated, people do not, my supporters do not like to hear negative information, negative stuff about me. So it doesn't matter what you're saying about Trump. If you're criticizing him, they're not going to pay attention to that.
With all them fans, fans and not supporters, because you need to have some kind of context or some kind of type of substance to support anything. They're a fan. They're cheering on his nerve. They like the nerve that he has. We need somebody that got balls to stand up to these people. How well is that going? You get into a war with somebody who we have free trade with. Make that shit make sense.
Maybe you're just Mr. Mobetta, maybe you're just overstepping it a bit. For instance, the same viewer Critical says it's like whenever they bring up a lie that Trump made, it's never actually a lie. It's always he just misspoke a word or a number. So maybe you're taking Trump out of context.
Listen, I can hear very well. I can comprehend very well. I'm very interested.
Did I lose you? All right, Mr. Mobetta, I'm about to drop you. You got some audio issues over there. You were having them the whole time, but we were trying to make it work. It's either you or me. Let me see if we can make it happen. Don't start fluffing, Tim. How am I fluffing, Brewster? Brewster's Millions? You ever see that movie from the 80s? How am I fluffing? Anyway, look it in the comments. And by the way, I have a poll question on YouTube. Wow, the number of respondents are pretty damn high for how quick it's only been out. The question being, will President Trump threaten to attack Canada militarily? Now, I'm going to give you some reference. I couldn't type what I really wanted to type in because they only give you a few words you can type. But Trump threatened to attack Canada militarily if they do not back down from his trade war. Not just attack him for no reason at all, but, like for instance, they're talking about shutting down power to several Northern Americans or several United States. Smokey got me now paying attention when I say America versus the U.S. because we're the U.S., we're not America, but it does. I'm trying to get out the grammar of it. In the United States, we have several states that receive their energy from Canada, their electricity or whatever the case may be. And they're threatening to fuck with that because of what Trump did. So that's what I'm talking about. Will Trump threaten Canada militarily? If states start going in the dark or we start having an energy crisis and you already got their tariffs at 50%, I mean, what's next? We're no longer going to do business with Canada. They clearly don't sound like they're willing to back down or bow to Trump. So you already know what happens. If Trump hits you and you swing back, he swings harder. I mean, we're at 50% already. What's going to be next? 100%? We're no longer doing business with them? I mean, because we could use the U.S. Navy to surround Canada and prevent, things from coming and going. Like we done to Cuba, like we done to Iran. It's ridiculous. I'm not defending it. I'm not recommending it. But we're talking about President Trump. He likes to win. That's why I'm asking, will Trump threaten to attack or use the military on Canada? So far, we've gotten 395 respondents. This poll has only been up about 20 minutes. 395 respondents. Good news, 64% say no, but that's 36% is still a lot of people. 36% of the people will believe that Trump might threaten Canada militarily. Wow, yikes. Anyway, continuing on, the Democrats are the ones who created Trump 2.0. I don't buy that, conservative. Handsome Conservative on Clapper says the Democrats created Trump 2.0. I don't think there's much that Trump is doing that he would not have already done, even if the Democrats were silent. Remember, Trump attacks dead people. So you don't have to attack Trump to get a response out of him. Remember Colin Kaepernick taking a knee? Trump attacked that guy. That guy never said nothing about Trump. Trump is, critical of LeBron James. Them people ain't saying nothing about Trump. So you're not going to be silent, or as Michelle Obama says, when they go low, we go high. Trump is getting political capital from attacking liberals. He's going to do it whether you attack him or not. It's valuable to him. His side loves that shit. You don't have to launch an attack at Trump to get attacked by him. All you have to just be is a good opportunity for him to advance his own causes. He'll attack you even if you've been totally silent. Go back to the box, tap screen, get us up to 20,000. will go to Gangsta Grandma. Always happy to welcome her into the No Fluffing Zone. Gangsta Grandma. Apparently she's not there. That's unusual. Gangsta, welcome to the No Fluffing Zone. What brings you up?
Yeah, you always fluffing.
Ain't no fluffing.
Now all of a sudden you mad at your napkins now today.
What is a napkin? What the fuck is a napkin?
You know what a napkin is, but you mad at them today.
Napkins? I've never been.
Napkins, all right. They nasty ass napkins.
I've never
eat all this shit. Why do you want me to be so nice to their ugly asses? Why, Tim? Why do you always want me to kiss their ass? When they had never showed us respect. Why do you do this shit? Why do you have to be capacitated a fucking napkin?
Wait, well, first of all, when you say they have never showed us respect, who is they? Who are they?
The napkins. Maggots.
So MAGA already. So why are you calling? What about MAGA makes you call them napkins?
Because they are napkins. What you fucking talking about? We have white ones, then we have the ones that wipe their asses with shit. All the little black and brown ones. The ones that, they throw up a guy, the house ninjas, throw up a guy that they're gonna be at this white man's table. Sold us out too. See, when I go crazy on all these asses, I'm not just talking about the white tea ones. I'm talking about all the ugly asses. The white tea napkins. And they're the scum of the fucking earth.
What you're doing, Gangsta Grandma. In the comments, handsome conservative says, have you ever heard respect is earned, not given? Maybe you're not earning the respect you're claiming you need.
When they vote to take Black history out of our schools, when they vote to take anything that has a black name in it out, or when they have to fire 300,000 fucking black women because of so-called DEI, when the whole fucking administration is fucking DEI, give me a fucking break. So tell the conservatives to kiss my black ass. And yes, I have one. Thank you.
Okay, well, first of all, the entire Trump administration is not DEI. That's inaccurate.
They are DEI.
That's inaccurate. That's not true.
They are DEI.
That's not true.
They are DEI. Most of them are DEI.
Okay.
The one that's a senator, Rubio, that motherfucker's a fucked up wench. But you know what, though? He could be considered DEI because he sold the fucking soul.
I haven't heard someone use the term wench since the dynasties in the Cold. Oh my God, wench? Really?
Wench, yes.
Marco Rubio is certainly qualified.
He's a sellout too, dog. What the fuck? He think he white? But he forgot where his parents came from, right? Ted Cruz, he forgot where his parents came from. All immigrants.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all sellouts. Thank you.
How about this?
Like you, Tim.
How about
Tim? You got a lot of heat. You try your hardest to come for me. You really do. And I cut your balls off and shove it up your damn ass. But let me break this shit down to you.
Wait, you gonna cut off what? Wait a minute. You ain't look. You are not about to waste your time and your muscles in your arm trying to cut off anything with one good knife. That ain't gonna happen. You ain't gonna be able to do that anyway.
I can't fuck with you, dog. No. You a napkin. You a napkin.
I'm a napkin.
Real, dog.
I've been a.
You is. I'm telling you,
I'm an honorary napkin. Oh my God. I'm an honorary napkin now? Really?
You are honorary napkin.
What did I do today? How did I become a napkin? How did I get the award?
Because you a sellout for real, dog. You know what, Tim? You come hard for me. And what's his name? I forget his damn name.
You fucking racist. Because you are a racist.
You're fucking racist. But you know what they call your black ass? Monkeys in the fucking comments. You know what they call your black ass? Fucking knee. You know what the fuck they be calling you with the heart ER.
You call?
Yeah, they be calling you everything but grown fucking ass man. They call you boy and every damn thing else. But you're sorry, fucking napkin looking ass. You say, oh my God, it's freedom of speech. Oh my God. Oh, but goddamn me. Oh, I call them napkins. I call them fucking skillet biscuits. I say anything. You fucking racist. Get the fuck over it.
I will just say this.
You better damn saying Negro today. Because let me tell you something. I'm not in a good mood today. I'm PMSing for real, dog. I ain't fucking with nobody today. Oh God.
I will give you credit for this. When it comes to nicknames, what is a skillet biscuit and another, you are about as creative as the president. Your nicknames are probably as spot on as the president.
No, see,
skillet biscuit.
Unlike him, I give them the good shit. You feel what I'm saying? Unlike that little mofo, that little fascist little twit we have in office, he is a wench too. But you know what though? I hope, you know what they did? You know what they did though? Well, God, I think God is punishing us for real, for real. And I'm a damn Christian. They took God.
What the fuck? Hold on.
White people. He took God.
What the fuck?
You know how many times we prayed to take this motherfucker home? Get the pits of hell? We have prayer groups on TikTok, for God's sake. We have churches praying every day to take this man to the pits of hell.
You're telling me, you're telling me Christians in church are actually praying for somebody's demise and calling themselves Christian?
We are legit Christians. Yes, I am a freaky Christian.
How can you be a legit? How in the hell can you be a legit Christian praying for some shit like that?
How the hell can he be a Christian? And he's a fascist. He don't like our black asses. What are you gonna do about that, Timmy?
I don't see how you.
I'm a freaky Christian, okay? I'm not talking about other freaky Christians. I'm talking about me. I pray every damn night, and I'm talking about all the other Christians that they have prayer groups. For God's sake, praying for his demise. You know what? God took the wrong one fucking home. Ain't that about a bitch? And you know what? I love that white woman. So don't tell me I'm not a fucking racist. I love Dolly Parton. I love her. Because you know why? That right there was a true ally. She gave $10 million to Tennessee. To black
I've been told a lot of my
billions.
Wait a minute. I've been told by many of my beloved MAGA that Dolly was a Republican.
Yeah. Okay, what kind of Kool-Aid they be drinking? Oh, they drinking some damn tequila and drunk as hell, thinking that she was a Republican?
That's what I've been told. That's what I was told.
She did everything opposite of the Republicans, sweetheart. She gave to the black communities. She stood for BLM. Black Lives Matter, bitches. Yeah, she stood for that, bitches. Yeah, honey bunnies. You napkin ass sellouts. Yeah, she stood with us. Yes, she did. She stood with the LGBTQ community. She's a drag queen. She wasn't no Republican.
She in drag queen shows for real?
Republican. Huh?
Was she really in drag queen shows?
Yes, she was. Yes, she was.
How about this?
You know that she was in? You know how funny it was? It was an all-star one, right? When they have Cher and Dolly Parton and all of them. She dressed like herself, but she went kind of higher, and she got the list of other claps. You know what? And nobody knew that was really her.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I remember that. I do. Yeah, she did that. Yeah. I do remember that. I do remember that.
So this me with she's a Republican, no bitches. She'll never sell her soul to the white tea man. And you know what she actually said? Why does asses matter more than a Black Lives Matter? Yeah, she stood with us.
I saw that clip the other day too. I did see that clip. So
she was
look, you don't. I just brought it up because somebody told me, but I was the one arguing that she. I was the one arguing that she was. I was the one arguing that when I saw the BLM clips. I know she's a feminist. I mean, there's a ton of aspects about her that may not make her Republican.
And if you think she really was, her sister dogged the shit out of the administration. The day that she died, dogged the shit out of them. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? How so?
I don't know what social media it was, but they had a what is it called? She had I don't know if it was Twitter or whatnot, but she said something and dogged the shit out of SCOTUS, the president, the Republicans.
Who, Dolly?
Dolly? No, Dolly's sister.
I can't hold her accountable for that. But in the comments, Handsome Conservative says this is why Jesus was against religion because of people like you. So he's saying that you.
You know, if Jesus came today, you sorry ass napkins would have kicked his ass out of the country. You know why? Because he didn't have his papers. You know why? Because he was a black man. If you guys really know history, Jesus was black. Yeah. Hair like wool, skin like bronze. Do you think a white man did that? Yeah, come on now. You guys would have called him, you guys would call him the ER word and every damn thing else. You guys don't even love Jesus. Because if you guys so-called love Jesus, you guys would have took Medicaid away from other people.
Are you suggesting they would have called, wait, you suggesting they would have called Jesus the N-word? Are you suggesting they would have called Jesus the N-word?
Oh, they call us the N-word and monkeys every damn day.
You're not Jesus. You're not Jesus.
Boy, shut up. Like that, you know what was funny? They had a woman, a white tee, a napkin ass bitch, was on somebody's show, right? And they asked her if Jesus came today and didn't have his papers, would you kick him out? And she said yes. What are you talking about? So yeah, the napkins would have kicked Jesus out. Because you know why? Because Jesus was not white tee, napkin. He was black.
And somebody in the comments said, hang on a second. Somebody in the comments said, it's sad somebody passes away and you all argue about politics. Isn't that what happened when Charlie Kirk got assassinated? That's what happens. That's what happens.
Did he not? Drip. Yeah, he's still leading. Is he not? I have no respect for that man. That was a triple K right there. Christian nationalists right there. People start,
thank you, Smokey. You're saying Charlie Kirk, wait, you're comparing Charlie Kirk to the Triple K?
He was a Christian nationalist, yeah. He leaned, man. I've never seen so much blood in my life. I said, he learned how to lean that damn day.
Yeah, he bled a lot.
For real.
Well, they hit a vein or they hit an artery or a vein or whatever in his neck. So.
I give him props, man, dog, because that was some shit right there. Hey, I give him props. Well, they should have did the same shit to the one that's in office on there.
Come on, man. You are a Christian. You are a Christian, I thought.
Yep. See, what you what God says? You know what God says? God gives us our way. God says he'll forgive me at the end of the night. I just gotta go pray to him. I've been saved, I've been baptized, and God will.
How can you and praying for people's demise? I don't get that. Put in your request, Handsome Conservative. I didn't see the flag though.
He's a Smiddler.
What?
He's a Smiddler. Why the fuck why would I want him to live?
You're trying to say you comparing Trump to Adolf?
He
hasn't done anything.
You know how much money? Do you know how much money we have wasted with this man? He's cut funding for food stamps, cut funding for welfare. He's cut funding. Oh, I have read the Bible, thank you. I was brought up in a Christian, a black Christian. So Smokey, sit your white ass down somewhere.
Now you attacking Smokey too?
Me and tell me shit.
Okay.
No, you know what? He could come up here and talk about it. He's still white tea. He sits his white tea ass down somewhere. Don't tell me I don't know the Bible. Because, honey, I can read some verses to you, and I know.
You gotta guess.
Yeah, don't tell me I don't know shit about the Bible.
Okay, you gotta guess. Conservative, are you there?
Oh, God.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What brought you up?
I just came up to do a little correction there. Jesus was against religion. Religion is what put Jesus on the cross. The Pharisees put Jesus on the cross.
Okay.
Jesus is not about religion. Jesus is about faith in what he did for you and faith in him. Okay. That is all that Jesus is about.
His own people are like him.
Continue on with your Christian hate that you spewing of.
No, let me tell you something. I'm a real Christian. See, when I do and I show love to people, I buy them groceries and stuff. When God said to feed the poor, you feed. When God said love thy neighbor, I do stuff for the napkins. They voted for this. God said to love thy criminal. God said, love thy immigrants and take them in as their own. Matthew 25. Oh, yes, I do that. You know what, you sorry-ass so-called Christian nationalists? You guys are doing the opposite. You guys are kicking people out of the country that should be here because it's their home.
Okay, he's responding. Okay, let him respond. Conservative, go ahead.
Okay, as far as Gangster Grandma goes, all of that stuff that she's saying, that she does, is wonderful. But do you know what Jesus calls that? He calls that works. And you don't get to heaven through good works. You get to heaven through Him. So all the works that you're doing isn't going to get you to heaven. All the works that you think that makes you a Christian doesn't make you a Christian. Those are works.
So what makes you white king Gorilla as a Christian
all the laws, then if you miss one, then you fell.
So
it's not about what you do, it's about the faith that you put in what He did for you.
So you could turn away the poor and do all of that and still get into heaven, is what you're saying.
I'm saying crack open the Bible. He's very crystal clear about it.
He does say that, but you still should do your work, though, too. But you still should do your work, too. He does say that, but you sure should do your work.
And what He did for all of us, that's what He asked for. That and a relationship with Him.
I gotta say,
you can't buy your way to heaven, and you can't work your way to heaven. It doesn't work like that.
No one said that, you numbnut. But you still should do the work as a Christian. What the fuck is this white boy telling people? You know what I mean? You can still go. You still. Let me tell you something. God. What He said was true. God said that, right? But you still got to do your work, though. You still got to be a decent fucking human being. You still should help the elderly. You still should help the poor. You should still help the immigrants.
Wait, let me...
Absolutely. You should feed the hungry and serve the poor. Absolutely.
All right, Gacy, I got to move it on from you.
You do that because you're a Christian. It doesn't get you to heaven.
So what you're saying, conservative?
But you still should be a decent human being.
All right. All right, Gacy Grandma, I do got to move it on for time.
Let me tell you something. Okay. My last other thing.
Hold on, hang on, conservative, real quick. Wrap it up, Gacy.
Let me break this shit down. I go off on the numbnuts. The maggots. I don't say I don't hate everybody. I hate them because they put us through hell. Look what we're going through, Tim. Our beef is going to come from that place that gives the nasty ass shit. Our beef people here, our farmers, is losing everything. Now I'm going to go support a damn blue farm now because I'm afraid of the damn beef that's coming in now. This is what the shit that we have to go through. So fuck you, fuck everybody that think I'm a fucking racist when I'm going off on their asses because I'm paying for it. And I didn't vote for this shit.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Conservative, now what I want to ask you real quick. So you're saying as long as you have faith, you can be a pretty shitty human being and still get into heaven. Am I correct in saying that?
You are not correct. A Christian, a true Christian, a follower of Jesus Christ is not a shitty human being.
No.
And having faith in Jesus and serving Him makes you want things that Gangster Grandma says she's done. But doing those things are not what gets you to heaven.
Yeah,
faith in His finished works gets you to heaven. Faith in the blood.
It's kind of complicated to me because I'm thinking, like, if you look at the homeless and the dead, I'm not giving you free shit. I'm going out to buy myself another sports car, and you're stepping over poor people. You're voting against, let's say, healthcare and things that would help people out in favor of renaming lakes and gulfs. Is that being a shitty human being, or is that activity that will not prohibit you from getting into heaven?
That's politics. You can't mix politics with Christ. Christ was not about politics. Remember, Jesus kicked out the people in the square that were.
So then, wait, hold on. So that means what Hitler did. Hitler was a politician. So what he did would not prevent him from getting into heaven because he was a politician when he did that. He really affected downtrodden people, mistreated a lot of people, but he did it on a political stage. So that means it doesn't matter because it's politics?
I'm sorry. I'll try to make this as easy as I can because I get what you're going with.
Help me out.
Sorry about that. I had to hang up a phone call. All that is required of all that is required, all that is asked of, is to put your faith in Him and to believe in His works and what He did for us, because we cannot earn our way to heaven. A sinful man cannot buy his way into heaven.
So you're giving me confirmation. So
it's not what he does. It's not what he's doing that gets him into heaven.
So then
his faith
that's
that gets him into heaven.
Right, that's confirmation. So as long as you believe, then you can be Hitler. Just as long as you have faith in his existence, you can be Hitler and still get into heaven.
No, as long as you put your faith. First of all,
what stops Hitler from? Wait, hold on. What?
He knows if you have faith in.
What?
Saying you have faith in having.
What did Hitler do to make you feel like he didn't get in there? Maybe he did have faith in him. What's making you say that he could not have gotten in?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Trump.
I'm talking Adolf Hitler. I'm saying based on what you're saying, someone like Adolf Hitler could still get into heaven. As long as he got faith in his existence and believes in him, he can get into heaven. Is that not correct?
Well, what you should ask yourself is this. Not did Hitler get into heaven, but if somebody that has faith in the finished works of Jesus Christ, would they do what Hitler did?
Maybe at the end of their lifespan, they come around and have faith and find Jesus.
At the end of it, that is entirely possible.
Right. So Hitler can get into heaven then. So there is a path.
All he asks is for faith.
Yeah. So what you're admitting is there is a pathway that someone like Hitler can get into heaven then.
Yeah, there's a path where gangster grandma can get into heaven. What are you saying?
Well, I got moving on for time, but based on what you're saying, and I'm not going to doubt it because you're more religious than I am, but based on what you're saying, that's one reason why I'm not religious. If there's a pathway for somebody like Hitler to eventually get into heaven, I got to assume a whole bunch of Confederates and slave owners and all of them may be up there. I don't want to go hang out with
people.
Can
I tell you one thing?
Sure, go ahead.
Can I tell you one thing? All right. It's not about your works. Take works out of, because no man can do good works and get into heaven. We're all sinners. All of us. Me, you, definitely gangster grandma. All of us are sinners. Okay? It's not about works. It's not about what we do. It's about what he did for us. See, the problem is the preachers today don't preach the blood. If they preach the blood, then people would understand. You can't buy your way. You can't work your way. It just doesn't work like that.
Oh,
we're not Muslims. We don't believe in buying and paying for our own.
Yeah, but based on what, to me, based on what you're saying, faith at the end, it really don't matter what you do on earth, whether you're kind, whether you're cruel.
Well,
I mean, you just said it's a pathway for even somebody like Adolf Hitler to get in. So, I mean, it ain't a lot more. It's not a lot more I need to know. Hang on, hold on. Hang on. Let me finish. I'm just saying, based on what you said already, including there's a pathway even for somebody like Hitler to get in there. There's a lot more I need to know, but I'll let you get the last word. Go ahead.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think that you have worked your way or earned your way to heaven?
According to you, it's impossible to do that.
That's right. Well, not according to me, according to his teachings. But it's none of us earn our way to heaven. We're all sinners. Okay, even me. I'm a sinner. It's not what we do, but in him, through him, by him, he did for us. And that's the message that's missing in all these years of so-called preachers collecting their tithes and shit. They don't preach them. Support your local.
Thank you. That is absolutely the case. Handsome conservative, we may be hearing from you again today, but I appreciate you coming on. Thank you. And tap the screen, get the lights on up to 30,000, if you will. Brackets says this guy is pretty much saying there is no point. Look, that's kind of the way I interpreted it as well. Just as long as you have faith and believe in the end, you can literally be 90. It doesn't matter what you did throughout those years. As long as you got faith and you believe on the way out, that stuff is irrelevant. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I'm hearing too, is there really is no point. Tap the screen. Somebody said, I think Jesus was neither white nor black, nor does it matter. It should matter. It should not matter. But listen, religion, at least in this country, came from people that race absolutely did matter. Maybe if you lived in Egypt or wherever it originated, it might have been something different. But in this country, from its founding, we only wanted to give one group of people credit for everything. So they wasn't going to make it sound like the person we're worshiping may be a person of color. They weren't giving those people credit for anything. So in this country, color didn't matter. And somebody in the comments, King Fizz says, and you definitely interpreted that incorrectly. I asked several times. He confirmed that there is a pathway for Hitler to get into heaven. He confirmed it. How did I interpret it incorrectly? He actually confirmed it. Anyway, let me go back to the box, tap the screen. By the way, help your boy out with the hat and mustache TikTok cap goes. No love, no rest for the weary. I haven't solicited it and I can tell. So help your TikTok cap goes, if you will. I'll read the comments. Yeah, Hitler, Larry Love. Adolf Hitler. Yes, he said there is a pathway for Adolf Hitler to get into the kingdom of heaven. Yes. MAGA will have a stroke if they knew the big guy was black. The head mustache Jay fire. Somebody showing me some love. Going back to the comments, tap the screen. By the way, if you're watching us on YouTube, smash that like button. I need you guys to do that. It helps out the program. And if you enjoy this open dialogue from our side of the hour, give your boy a sub. We are MAGA friendly. Always have been MAGA friendly. Always shall remain so. We don't block banners or anyone on this program. Our comments go left of Mom Donnie to have your dinner with you. Brandon, good evening.
Hold on. I apologize. I was just listening.
All right. I'll go ahead and remove you. Thank you.
Today. Yeah.
Appreciate it. All right. Continue on. Stop smoking. What does I say? Anti something, man. People about Christ. I don't know what you're saying there. It's like saying Trump can get into heaven knowing what he has done. The little kids, surely he read the Bible. What he says, he has pity for the kids. He's not even releasing the Epstein files. So we know Trump, at the very least, is helping out some people who violated children. Even if Trump did it, there's likely pedos in the files. He's not releasing them. So he's helping out pedos. And I'll tell you this, his actions are likely getting more people victimized. Everybody believes, which is why they put you on the sex offender registry, that if you violated a child once, you're sick in the head and you're likely to do it again. Most people believe that. Most governments believe that. That's why they put you on the registry. By Trump hiding who's in the files, they are free to keep doing that. So it's very likely, by him not making those pedos known, they are continuing to violate. If your only defense for Trump features what about Biden, then you're not defending Trump. That's an admission of guilt. If you hear what I'm saying about Trump and all you can do is move on to someone else, that means you have no defense for Trump. So yeah, what he is doing by hiding the files is likely leading to children continuing to be abused. And that is even if he didn't do any of it himself. Just protecting someone else that did it. He's likely causing new people to be victimized. In the comments, more ways are already written down in the Bible. You just have to read the right Bible because some Bibles are misinterpreted. The complication of this shit makes it hard. That's where the complication is read this one right, read that one correctly. That throws it off. Help people out with the head mustache, TikTok cap goes. We'll go to Stick. Garula. Good evening, Stick. Birds of a feather flock together, says MDJ. I've heard that many times. Stick, good evening.
Hey, what's going on, Tim?
Not much at all. Trump in heaven, what say you?
No, man, he ain't making it, and neither did Hitler. And sounds like because he's over there blaspheming, the handsome conservative ain't gonna make it either.
What? Handsome conservative is a devout Christian.
And he don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Oh my God.
He's spreading lies like a motherfucker, man. Listen, for you to think just because you believe that there's a God, that God ain't looking at you telling you you're supposed to walk like him and talk like him, and then you out there unaliving people and doing shit to kids and all that. I mean, you think you finna make it? I mean, your logic is try to live righteous and then maybe you'll make it to heaven. Ain't no, I'm gonna just do what I do as long as I believe. And see, that's why they so damn violent in the first place. That's why Christians are violent. They believe, as long as they believe in God, they can unalive people and say, well, you know, I'm a believer. Come on, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is kind of what he was saying to some degree. As long as you believe there's a pathway for you. I mean, because I said this, that's what I was telling him. I'm like, if there's a pathway for Adolf Hitler and all of the Confederates and slave owners and stuff, I don't think I'm interested in going there. You think I want to go to heaven and hang out with Stonewall Jackson? I mean, I'm good. I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna hang out down here.
And that's just the thing, man. But these are the same people that said all men are created equal while having slaves. So I mean, it is what it is. But they ain't look at us like persons. You know, that's why it says person.
How about it from this angle, Steve? How about this angle? Big Bo C says he's saying that I must admit, and I don't think Big Bo is a Trump supporter based on how this is written, but I might be wrong. But he says, I must admit that Trump can make it into heaven. He could change his evil ways. So he's calling Trump evil, but he is saying that there could be a pathway going forward. I mean, do you believe that there's a pathway for President Trump?
No. Let handsome conservative tell it. No. How? He can't do it by works. He can't do it by anything other than just believing. Right? So he don't believe because he don't ask for forgiveness. So no.
But what if he started? What if he found Jesus? Like a lot of murderers in prison. What if he found Jesus toward in the next? I mean, he's 80 years old.
So you mean when he's on his deathbed?
Yeah.
And he's about to close his eyes, and the preacher come in, and the preacher say, okay, do you take this oath and forgive, you know, and all this other shit? Will you? And he says yes. Do you think God believes him?
I mean, if God isn't, well, I can't speak on it. I'm not.
Do the priest believe him?
I can't speak on it. I don't know.
Do the doctor believe him?
I don't know if they would even. I don't know if he would even believe me. I don't know. I don't know if he would even believe me. So, but how about this? He does say it's faith in his works, not your works. So having faith in him, it doesn't matter what you've done. It's having faith in what he's done.
He ain't never asked for forgiveness. So it sounds like to me you don't have faith in his works. Because his works is in forgiveness, and we are washed in the blood and all of this other stuff that they like to do. I don't know why it's all blood. It's always something having to do with blood. Anyway.
The Bible is violent. The Bible is a violent book. It is violent. I can understand why it's blood. That's how you keep people in control, is you tell them if you don't do what I say, bad shit will happen. How you can get little kids and stuff to be religious. And hell, even somebody like me who was starting to be really doubtful and question a lot of shit, but I don't want to burn for fucking ever. So I'm still like, I don't know. I mean, because they scare the shit out of you.
I'm going to just say this, man. If people mind their own goddamn business, they wouldn't have nothing to be mad about.
What are you getting? I don't get that. What are you saying?
We got Christians. No, we got Christians in this world that want play down with 14-year-olds, man. Christians. They call themselves Christians. We got people in this world that call themselves Christians, but always want somebody to be unalive because their state believes that they still have the death penalty. But they Christians. Oh, and they're pro-life too. I don't understand. How does that make any sense? They believe it. They're pro-life, but they believe in eye for an eye.
Yeah, I mean, well,
I heard one of these guys get up here and say, if a woman's pregnant and she don't want to be pregnant, she shouldn't be out there having sex, and then we wouldn't have to worry about Medicaid and Medicare. And I'm like, how does the two? Huh? What?
Look, I'm going to say it this way, and like I said, I know for certain, I feel confident when I say I'm not one to have, to tell anybody anything about religion, but I will say that the right side of the aisle does seem to be more evangelically based and more religious than about it. But when I'm going to agree with you. When you look at some of the things they support, like healthcare should be optional, and you don't work, you don't eat. I'm like, you Christian?
And listen, Tim. So that's a game that they're playing. They're playing it with you and everybody else. The game is to say and hide behind, I'm a Christian. I'm doing all of these bad things. I'm stopping people from eating. I'm messing with people's health care. I really am racist. I'm doing all of these things. However, you gotta trust me because I'm a Christian. We're kind, righteous people.
There has to be something about that in the Bible, though, right, Stick? Because when you think about racism in America, let's not talk about 2026, but we know from 1776 on, there was a lot of racism in America, and the country was far more Christian back. So what I'm asking is, there has to be something in the Bible that supports or promotes racism. Them folks were Christian. I mean, even the Klan was burning crosses and meeting in churches. So there's got to be something that's biblically written that tells them that this is the way you should do things. Because most of the country was Christian during its most racist periods.
Well, the whole thing of that is that's when you taking on the what do they call it? Not the monarchy, but the like doing the nuclear family thing, right? That shit came off of Leave It to Beaver. That shit right there is something they tried to say this works. However, they had to make sure that they women had things like Quaaludes and shit just to live in that environment. So at the end of the day, I'm sure that the actual African American household had before it was tainted with was the actual structure that should be. Whether it be the son is looked at in a certain way, the daughter was looked at in a certain way, the man of the house was looked at a certain way, the grandmother was looked at a certain way. Everybody was given respect. It wasn't no whoever got the most mother can have the most motherfucking women and all that shit. Yeah, it might have been in some parts. However, the respect part that I'm talking about, it wasn't what they consider to be respect today. This is a bunch of bullshit.
Well, and in the comments, Handsome Conservative says, he says, that's where you're wrong. He says, you cannot be a Christian and own a slave. Well, we don't have to just stop at slavery. I mean, a lot of Americans voted in favor of, let's say, Jim Crow laws and really mistreating people of color. A lot of Christians were voting in favor of doing that stuff. So this continued way beyond slavery. So how can you be a Christian if you're actively out protesting for, let's say, black people not to be able to come to your school or live in your neighborhood or walk down your street? Can you be Christian and still do it pouring acid in pools that they swim in? I mean, this went on way beyond the end of slavery. So I'm just saying, can you be Christian and do that stuff?
Yeah, it's way beyond slavery because just like I said today, man, we got to vote on voting every 25 years for the African American community. Why? We're a person. We're in the Constitution. All men are created equal. So what are we talking about? Why do we have to be voting upon that shit? Why that shit ain't just, well, that shit is over and done with because y'all was born here, y'all a person. man or woman now, you can vote. So let's just get done with that and be done with that. Y'all shouldn't have to come back every 20 because maybe one day you might decide to take it away like he's doing now.
Well, all I'm saying, and this is what this is all part of, because I grew up, fairly religious, going to church and stuff like that, and attending Bible school, learning the word. I used to direct the choir when I was pretty young. I'll just say that all of this stuff is what has kind of shaken my faith, because I don't understand it, and obviously don't have any answers for it, and I don't understand it, and people would pray on it. Well, I'm not getting any answers that make any sense. Like how did most of America, in regards to the history of this, how are most of those people capable of reaching heaven? I mean, considering how, and I'm not even just talking about how bad they treated us, Native Americans, the countries abroad. Like, how is it that most of those folks thought they were Christian? Why wouldn't God himself tell them, you ain't coming with me? I mean, what led them to think they could do all of that stuff and stick, because they're reading from the same that we read from today. What made them read from that Bible and think that you can do all this stuff and still be received into the kingdom of heaven?
So number one, just like we got three branches of government, we got interpreters, right? And that's called the Supreme Court. They interpret the law. We have a person that ain't on the Supreme Court, they ain't nowhere near a court, not even a county court or city court or any type of court, like the handsome conservative. You will get all this shit that don't make any fucking sense because they interpreted shit the wrong fucking way off the ripple. That's hands down. The only thing that they did was use brute force. Listen, they used brute force to make sure that their interpretation gets out there to the world. They had a slave Bible. Why would you have a Bible, right, and then have a slave Bible?
That's a good point.
Because you wanted to manipulate it and make it your way. That's why.
Yeah, I would just say this. To me, anybody who deliberately altered the Bible for personal gain, to me, you should be blocked. Because now you not only did not follow the teachings, you prevented someone else from receiving the word accurately. If you intentionally alter things for personal benefit, you should be blocked. That should be akin to religious treason. You should be blocked if you've done something like that.
What the happen is, if we're gonna go by the King James version or any type of English version, Protestant, Baptist, First Baptist, Southern Baptist, any type of denomination Bible, right? Gideon's. Any type of Bible, when you look at the Bible, and it's the first, the First Testament, and then you have the Second Testament, which is the new King James version or whatever. Because the First Testament has the 10 Commandments and all of that, Genesis, blah blah blah, whatever. So it's supposed to be stamped on the cross. But what they like to do is they like to go into the Old Testament and say, well, this was like this, but then that don't even count anymore. That don't even count anymore because you're supposed to be going by the New Testament. So with all that being said, man, they like to jump back and forth and make it fit to their ideology, what they're trying to accomplish, what they're trying to do, who they're trying to shame. That's all they do. They don't believe in any of it.
Yeah,
it's like the Egyptians of today trying to tell you what the pyramids was about when they ain't the motherfuckers that built it. They were the conquerors that took over the land. The Egyptians of today ain't the old Egyptians. Yeah, they was black. They was not tan people in the desert.
And that's a lot of that is what turned me against it. I do got to move on for time's sake, but that's kind of what is shaking my faith, is that there are too many people that have been teaching the faith to others and ministering to others that made all sorts of alterations like what we're discussing for personal gain. So you don't know, you like in the comments, Handsome Conservative says, read, he's saying all the answers are in the Bible, just read it, please. Well, if the book has been altered for somebody's benefit, you can read it all you want. The book may not be accurate. We don't, go ahead, last word.
No, I was just going to say last word, man. So again, if you look at the Bible, it tell you about people who tries to interpret the Bible and tell you some shit that's not saying. And all I'm saying is this: don't listen. I'm telling you, have deaf ears to people like that, because if they want to try to justify evil with the Bible, what are we talking about? That's not what the Bible is. And then the second thing is Christians. This is what you are. You got Christians that don't like Israel. However, the main person in your story, the way you're telling it, is one of those people. And then you turn around and say you're following him while at the same time hating those people. Triple K, the skin, any type of organization that uses Christianity while hating the same person that you read about and say you're supposed to love in the Bible is weird to me.
All right.
It's weird to me.
All right, Stick.
It's your king.
Yeah.
It's your king, but you don't like him, and you want him to go to the chamber like Schmittler. That's weird to me.
All right. I got to move it on for time. Stick, thank you.
All right.
And real quick in the comments, someone voiced an opinion based on what I said about my own faith being shaken. Says if those things, Deborah says, if those things can shake your faith that easily, you're already lost. Okay, well, I'm not gonna be found with that attitude. Yeah, maybe I am lost, but if that's the attitude, well, he's lost. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, seeing all of the evil around, and people are doing and committing acts that I think are evil, and simultaneously not only calling themselves Christians, but many of them are ministering and teaching others about Christianity. Yeah, that shakes my faith. If that makes me lost, send me a roadmap. Maybe one that talks about Lake America and the Gulf of America. So we're getting back into the actual topic of the show, because religion wasn't our topic. But I'm sure it'll come back up. Seeking truth in God's will. What is it? Seeking truth is God's will for you. Yeah. But God knows if you'll ever find it, though. The poll continues. A lot of people have voiced their opinion on this. Will Trump threaten to attack Canada militarily? 860 some people. 800. I mean, that's a fairly large respondent for some of my polls. Most of my polls are maxed out at about 500 respondents. So over 800 people, and it hasn't even been up there for maybe a little bit over a half hour now. 37% say yes. 62% say no. So I'm happy to hear most people don't think Trump will threaten Canada militarily, but 37% is still no small number. And I didn't get to word it the way I wanted, as I mentioned earlier, because you can only type in so many words on a YouTube poll. But what I wanted to say is, if Canada does not bow down to President Trump in the tariff war, because they're to retaliate not only with 50% tariffs on a lot of goods coming here, but are also threatening to cut off the supply of energy to several northern U.S. states. A lot of states receive their electricity from Canada. So they're talking about shutting down energy to several U.S. states. And that's why I said, do you think Trump may threaten Canada militarily, such as, we need power coming to America. If they're going to play games and put Americans in the dark, hospitals may need equipment. We may have to use the military to take hold of some of those power plants to ensure America continues receiving power. Threaten Canada militarily. Do you think there's a chance that could happen? In the comments on my other platforms, type yes or no. Do you think there's a chance Trump will threaten Canada militarily if they don't bow down? Trump's MO is he throws a punch. If you hit him back, he swings harder. He doesn't stop because you hit him back. So 50% tariff, what's the next step? What's the next step? In the comments here real quick, be careful, man. I'm a James King Version Bible believer, and I'm the First Baptist, and I'm calling hanky and evil on all what's going on lately. All right. Ontario named by Native Americans in 1600. Yeah, I heard that it was called Lake Ontario before America even was before we even had designated her. So we'll go with that. Anyway, tap the screen. Help your boy out. The hat mustache TikTok cap goals. The few people have shown some love. Help your boy out with the TikTok cap. The 9th, 10th Amendments give me the people enumerated and fundamental rights not listed in the CO. I don't get what you're saying. Do not get what you're saying. I'll say, help your boy with the head mustache TikTok cap goes. I am second late bin. Don't know what that means either. As a Canadian, they won't turn the hydro off, but probably put a higher surcharge. Fair enough. I mean, well, yeah, I mean, that would probably be the first step. And thank you for tuning in from Canada, John Dillinger. Appreciate that. It's no longer Republican versus Democrat. It's America versus socialism. Let's talk about that, Tim. What you're saying is bullshit. What you're saying is not true. What you're saying sounds like it's coming from somebody who doesn't know what socialism is. There's a whole bunch of Democrat candidates that are not running on socialist policies, but I understand what you're saying because I've watched your side of the aisle call every Democrat existing socialist. You guys were saying Obama was a socialist. You look back at the 8 years of Obama, 2008 to 2016, America didn't come fucking close to being a socialist country. Your side is just calling everybody with a D behind their name a socialist. So yeah, you're saying it versus socialism because you're labeling people improperly. I guess based on what you guys say, Fetterman, who barely is even a Democrat, you would be saying Fetterman socialist. You guys are just labeling all the Democrats socialists. So yeah, you're wrong on that. We the Rabble says, for your information, most bodies of water in America were. That's true. The states too. Most bodies of water in America were named by or states and cities were named that. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Like when I lived in Australia, they kind of the same thing. The natives were called Aborigines, and you can tell because you start encountering words that don't kind of fit the English language. Like, somebody coming from the UK, a word like Illinois, the state of Illinois, doesn't make sense. Like that doesn't fit a typical English, language. Nantucket don't really fit what you normally hear in the English language. So you kind of know when you're dealing with it. And when I was in, like I said, when I was in Australia, like at one Mooloolaba, that's the name of, it's a fairly large city called Mooloolaba. That name don't fit nothing you hear in the English language. Like Cairns and Darwin and all these names that were in Australia. So you know when you're encountering something like that because it doesn't fit the typical. Kind of become accustomed to English. You encounter some of these native names. In the comments, though, Trump is an idiot, convicted felon, but he's also your president. I don't know if I would say he's an idiot, but he is a convicted felon. That is official. Tap the screen, get your boy up the head. What is this? Canada is imposing tariffs on USA seafood, steel, aluminum, furniture, appliances. I'm not looking forward to that shit becoming. I'm really not looking forward to when that stuff starts hitting. That we got to deal with that. Going back to the box, MAGA reacts. Good evening.
Hey, Tim.
Hey,
what's going on?
Oh my God, some crazy shit today. Now this Lake Ontario. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, it was stupid. I want to talk more about this socialist versus communist.
Okay, we can talk about that, but I do gotta ask. Your side started out with Elon Musk and Doge and all this being against waste, fraud, and abuse. We got the Lyrian Center in Minnesota. You guys hate waste, fraud, and abuse. Why are we spending money on shit like Lake Ontario and the Gulf of America? Why is your side not bitching about how much wasteful money is spent on this stuff?
Bro, because that's like the least of the issue.
Waste is waste.
About like money.
You guys complain about.
There's real waste. There's real waste. We have billions in waste.
Does it have to be that?
Repeat from fraud, from like bullshit programs, and you're caring about them repainting a sign.
Well, first, it ain't repainting it. It's not repainting the sign. You got to think when you think about how big Lake Ontario is. all of the highway signs and all that shit leading. I mean, that could be thousands of signs. That's going to add up.
Pennies, Tim.
So just because it's pennies,
Still pennies, and you only have to do it once. There's a lot of wasteful programs that we pay for every fucking year.
How do you judge waste, fraud, and abuse?
A sign once.
So how do you judge waste, fraud, and abuse? As long as it's low, you don't say nothing about it?
That's usually how it works with a lot of things. You start with the big things first, because if you fucking use all your power, all your fucking political power on small things like you're doing right now, you're going to lose on the big things. Because look how much you're wasting your time on this small potato. When it comes to big potato, no one's going to listen to you because you already wasted all your breath on the small potatoes.
Well, first of all, you're saying wasting time on the small potato when I'm talking.
Wasting my
Hold on,
time
hang on.
Shit too.
You're saying wasting time on small potatoes when I'm talking about it. But what about wasting the presidential time on it?
He's looking for a distraction, so maybe it's worth it for him. He's got nothing else to fucking do.
Yeah, he does. How about America first?
And it's part of his trade war with fucking Canada, so it's like a fuck you back at them for all the shit they're pulling.
So in other words, he's saying a fuck you at Canada, and he's gonna make us use our tax money to pay for it, and you're okay because it's only a small amount of money.
Yeah, they charge us every year is a lot more money than what we're gonna lose on
Lake Ontario's not gonna fix that, MAGA. That ain't no matter what. I want you to hear this and give me your opinion.
The Trump administration to tear down the Kennedy Center in the court battle over putting the president's name on the building. Kennedy Center this morning with the latest. Jay, good morning.
Whit, good morning to you. In an extraordinary court filing, the Trump administration threatening that it could tear down the iconic Kennedy Center unless a judge greenlights the president's planned renovations and lets him put his name on the building.
So now he wants to tear down the Kennedy Center. You're okay with that too because it's a small amount of money?
Well, I would actually like that place torn down. Not because of the name thing, but because every fucking bill, every spending bill has money set aside for the Kennedy Center. This place gets always renovated. I remember when it started back in 2020, they spent like $15 million renovating it then, and now they're spending more money renovating.
I thought you wanted DC to look nice. You wanted the reflective pool. You wanted the tribunal arch. You wanted the ballroom. But when it comes to this place, you don't want it fixed up.
I mean, but it's always getting fixed up. So this might.
So is the pool. So is the reflective pool.
Okay, so let's redo the pool too. Fucking destroy it and build a new one.
You just fuck it up. You just gonna tear DC apart.
You're asking me. Well, whatever. I really don't care. But
I believe that.
I'll talk about it.
I believe
remember, you're the one that wants to talk about it. I don't care about any of this shit. I wouldn't waste my energy on any of this shit.
Oh my god, you gotta guess.
I don't want to waste my time.
You got the honorable Mike the boss. You gotta guess. Mike, talk to us.
Why is he wasting his time on this shit? I haven't even fucking said anything.
I don't know why you can't go. Mike, hear from him.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. It's funny. This is perfect timing because you don't care about this spending that you actually voted for because you guys cared that Biden was doing wasteful spending.
Well, what's Biden's wasteful spending?
I don't know. That's what you guys said. I mean, that's what the MAGA said.
He said he was going to install EV chargers. He installed like 5. Where'd all the money go? He said he was going to provide internet for the fucking. Let me talk. He said he was going to provide internet for hard to reach areas. He didn't do it, and fucking Elon ended up doing it with Starlink way better.
That's not true. It's not that he didn't do it. It was delayed. You're talking about Wi-Fi.
Bro, Ezra Klein wrote a whole book about how stupid it was and how it didn't work.
Right. And I guess if that person had the same brain power as you had, you want me to read that book. But can you answer my question?
You don't know who Ezra Klein is? You don't know who Ezra Klein is? He's a leftist from the New York Times.
I don't give a fuck. Can you see how impartial I am?
Well, if you would listen to smarter people,
if you're referencing it, I have to question it. But I'm asking you, MAGA Reacts, when you said waste, fraud, and abuse, and the reason you can't run away from anything that MAGA says because you have it in your name. So I can hold you accountable. You see how that works, too? Can you answer my question?
Stop telling us how it works and make a point.
I'm asking you, what happened to your resolve about waste, fraud, and abuse? Now you're seeing a president
I want to get rid of real
God
waste.
damn, can you let me finish? Can you let me finish? You don't even know what I'm... Tell me what I'm
We need a bite or something. We need a clicker. I thought you were finished. You need a clicker to...
I wasn't.
No, let him finish. Let him finish, Maga. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. I want to hear what you got to say.
With all of these vanity projects that are going on, that are costing us hundreds of millions of dollars, I'm simply asking you, why are you guys okay with the spending of waste and fraud going, even as recently as today, they found out that your governor in Florida had $10 million of waste and or fraud, but there's no charges being filed against DeSantis. Why is that, Maggie?
What was it wasted on?
Well, does it matter what it was wasted
Well,
on?
yeah.
Also here in Florida, we pay so little taxes. I really about him. I mean, for a guy that's supposedly wasting so much money, why is he trying to charge us less and less taxes? He's trying to get rid of property taxes. We got no state tax.
Can you answer my question?
I mean, I pay. What is he wasting? He's not taking any money from me to waste. The federal government is taking fucking tax money from me. Florida doesn't take tax money from me.
Florida just do you even know what I'm talking about?
You don't know what you're talking about.
I'm asking you
the money on.
Sir, I'm asking you, do you know what I'm talking about?
No, because you won't tell me. What are you talking about? What did he waste his money on?
Tim, what did I just say, Tim?
Well, you said they're wasting money in Florida, but he made a good rebuttal. He said, "Look, taxes on me are so low from this state. Wherever they're wasting money, it ain't my money because they're not taxing me." Is what he said. And by the way, let me tax some of my guests that had mustache. TikTok, help your boy out. No, but what he is saying is they ain't taxing me enough to complain about it.
A federal grand jury found that the DeSantis administration misused $10 million. This came out 45 minutes ago. I'm asking you, do you have a problem with $10 million being misused?
On what? Tell me what it was misused on.
Does it matter?
Thank you.
Yes, it does matter. What the fuck?
It matters now, but it didn't matter when... Wait a minute. It matters now, but you never asked that question when Biden was in office.
I just gave you a bunch of examples of when Biden did it. And when Biden did it, it cost 9.8% inflation. We don't have a huge inflation problem right now. Other people was caused by the war.
Mega, just don't give a fuck.
That is
the money was wasted. I do give a fuck. That's what it was wasted on.
I gotta agree with it. I gotta agree with Mike. Y'all don't care. Y'all don't seem to care when this stuff. I mean, I asked you about Lake Ontario. Your answer was, well, it ain't a whole lot of money that's being wasted. You don't seem to care.
They don't give a fuck.
At least you're telling me it was Lake Ontario. This motherfucker's not telling me what it was used on.
The money. Since you care so much, I'm going to tell you. Now, Tim, I want you to watch his answer. The money was diverted to Ron DeSantis' wife's charity.
Ooh.
Okay, that's fucked up.
Ooh.
Huh?
That is fucked
That's
up.
fucked up.
He should be on charges for that.
Diverted? What was the money used for?
You should. You can't wait. It don't. You know something? To be honest with you, it really don't matter if your wife got a charity set up, because even charities can take a cut for administrative purposes or whatever. That should just not be allowed. I don't care if your charity is helping out the homeless or whatever. You are enriching the administrative branch of that as well. And if your wife owns it, by the way, you're actually paying her money.
Yeah, but that's the Democratic playbook. Most of the bills they pass go straight to their friends and their charities.
And you complain about that, and your side complains about that too.
I do.
Right.
I do. I want to know what the money was supposed to go for. Did the charity you throw it away?
This was $10 million of taxpayers' money in Florida.
That was you don't need to repeat that.
Again, to her.
What is the source? Draco in the comments wants you to. What is your source on that? I'm assuming I could probably pull up a quick YouTube video and the newscast is probably on it. But
well, one of them, just so you know, is the local 10 news station in Florida. That's one source. Okay. So,
all right. Did they tell you how the money was wasted?
And they declined to file charges.
Wow.
$10 million, Tim.
What was the money used on?
It doesn't fucking matter.
Wait, you just heard that. Hold on, let me.
$28 million used on a building to house like 10 people that are homeless. That's like, I can tell you at least what the money was used on.
But
you're not even telling me what the money's used on.
You would be wrong.
Sorry, it was probably like, it was like a luxury building was bought for $28 million.
No, it wasn't.
I saw the building. It was a fucking luxury building. It had fucking balconies.
Pull it up.
Well, my point is.
In the meantime, you pull up what this $10 million was used for.
My point is simple. As I told you, MAGA, it does not matter what it's for, because if you have a charity organization, no charity organization or most charity organizations do not give 100% of what they receive to folks for charity. They keep some of it for administrative purposes and things like that. So if the wife is running a charity organization, that is essentially a way to give her some money. Let's say she only keeps 2% of it. That's still 2% of taxpayer money going to her. I mean, you should not be able to donate to your wife's charity. Yeah, but you should. Yeah, but you should not. But it's a quid pro quo or a conflict of interest when it's your damn wife.
No, Tim. No.
I mean, if the money was misused, then I agree with you. But I still don't know what the money was used on. Was it used?
Don't say they all do it because you guys voted.
Playbook.
You guys voted for Donald Trump to not be the same. You motherfuckers voted for him.
They've thrown that out. They've thrown that out.
This isn't Trump. This is DeSantis. And so far, DeSantis has been fucking great.
Is he MAGA?
Yeah, he's MAGA.
Are you MAGA?
I am MAGA. I love this.
So he took your money. He took your money in your state, gave it to his wife, who funneled it into her charity, and now they don't know.
This is an old. Mike.
So if you would have gave it to some stranger to waste, it would make a difference. I don't give a fuck if it's his wife.
Let me. Oh, give me a second. I do wanna play this. Hold on. I do wanna. This is actually an old story, but it's about a year ago this happened. But broke. But I do want to. I'm gonna play this and we'll continue talking about it.
Governor DeSantis now, for the very first time, less than 24 hours after a heated hearing that happened in Tallahassee.
State lawmakers know how $10 million of taxpayer money was funneled into a nonprofit spearheaded by First Lady Casey DeSantis and not into a state bank account. Local 10's Hannah Yeshivi is live in Sweetwater, where the governor addressed it this morning. Hannah. Christy Janice, the governor, telling me this is all part of an appropriate settlement between ACA, the Agency for Healthcare Administration, and his wife, Casey DeSantis' nonprofit called Hope Florida. If you take a look at this video, it just shows you lawmakers in Tallahassee yesterday during a heated hearing that took place. Lawmakers wanting to know how $10 million of taxpayer money ended up in First Lady Casey DeSantis' nonprofit organization. She created Hope Florida to try and help people get off welfare with local programs rather than government programs. But yesterday, during that hearing, members of a House subcommittee asking tough questions after learning the $10 million are part of a $67 million court settlement by ACA that was given to Hope Florida with no public oversight or public accountability. Yesterday, the committee chair asking if the money transfer was legal. So this morning, I went ahead and asked the governor also about the legality of those public dollars going to a private foundation.
It's almost over.
This was a settlement, a totally appropriate, it was a good deal that was negotiated. When you do settlements, you can try to get as much money as you can, but this was in addition to what they were getting. This is kind of like a cherry on top where they agreed to make an additional contribution.
Maggie, I'm curious, what do you think of that?
I'm still not getting enough details to have like an opinion either way. I mean, I could give you a bunch of examples from California where it's like quadrupled the money and it's being absolutely wasted.
I guess you need
at least here, I don't know.
You need Nick Shirley to tell you this story. You're not getting enough detail. There's plenty of detail there.
Send Nick Shirley to Florida.
This looks bad.
Obviously, the people of Florida are not complaining. We're about to vote in another Republican.
You know the sad part about this, Tim, is I only came up I always like to test this logic. See, in order for you to stay sharp, you got to continue to test people's theories and test your own theories and test your own logic. And right now, what we have is a continuance of the MAGA cult, right? You cannot, under any circumstance, campaign and be on board wage, fraud, and abuse in the government, and we're going to drain the swamp and smaller government and all this shit where Trump was going to be different. And then every time he does something in complete opposition of your position, you pivot and want to justify it.
This is not
ridiculous.
This is not Trump.
I'm gonna tell you why.
I have so many. I'll give you examples right now from California, where the money
No.
went to a
We're not talking
building.
about California.
A building was bought for $10 million and resold for like
We are not
30.
talking about California. This is why you're so disingenuous. If you wanted to talk about California, you would have brought that up when you brought your ass up here. You're only talking about California because I brought up Florida. You don't know anything what you're talking about.
Yeah, because they're good. They're a good comparison. They're good mirrors of each other. One is completely run by Republicans. One is completely run by Democrats. They're both rich. They're both one of our best states, and they both have to deal with hurricanes versus fires. You know, they're fucking great mirrors of each other.
No, they're not.
Like, when a hurricane hits Florida, that shit gets fucking fixed. Everything gets fixed right away. It's been fucking 2 years, and they still haven't replaced those homes that were set on fire fucking a couple of years ago.
Damage from fires and is the damage from fires and hurricanes the same?
I don't care.
What takes more
Our
time to
permitting
recover
gets
from?
everything done.
What takes more time to
I
recover
got 3
from
minutes.
fires or hurricanes?
3 minutes.
Even if a hurricane hit California, it would take 3-4 years.
Answer the question. What takes more time to recover from? Florida,
I'm sure fire
hurricanes or
does,
fires?
but the issue isn't the recovery, it's the permitting. The issue is the bureaucracy.
You said fire.
It has nothing to do with it. You don't know what you're
The
talking
issue is the
about.
bureaucracy. None of the buildings got replaced. If a house gets totaled in Florida by a hurricane and a house is totaled in California by a fire, I bet you all the money in the world, the Florida house will get replaced first, fixed first. And that's what happens every hurricane. All our houses are replaced.
Doesn't it depend on where it is, man?
Yeah, it does, because Florida has better laws.
Okay, perfect.
That's why we don't have a housing problem like you guys
Hold on,
do.
let me just say something. Let me just interrupt and say something. I can tell you right now, there's a story been in the news constantly. Gary, Indiana, a Republican state outside of Chicago, they had a storm and they've been in the dark for 2 fucking weeks. So don't make it sound like the Republicans kick in and do shit. You talking about Florida, but there are other Republican states out there.
Yeah, I mean, I can compare the rich Florida state versus the rich or California state.
Okay, perfect. So that's what you're saying. Do you know the territory in which those fires happened? Yes or no?
In California or here?
Yes.
Or
California.
It was the LA County. I don't know.
I know you don't know. I don't know is a great answer.
I don't know.
Do you guys have a...
Everything's flat in Florida.
Okay, thank you. All right, my work is done. You got it, real talk. Appreciate you.
Yeah, but
all right, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
Stay up here. I need to fucking.
You may get them back. You say the wrong shit. You may get them back. Real talk. What brought you up?
No, these are all beach houses, and I still want to know about the fucking Carmelo Anthony text messages.
Oh damn! You should have brought that up. Yeah. He said the Carmelo Anthony stuff was about a video game. But real talk, we'll talk about that in a minute. Real talk, go ahead.
So it's good. So Maggie, the only reason why I came was I heard you saying something about you said 2 years.
Floridian, right?
Yeah, I'm born and raised in Miami, Florida. Okay,
how much are you paying taxes?
Well, I'm not there right now, or in case it be like that, because first of all, the police don't treat us right in our neighborhoods, and the Saints won't do a goddamn thing for us. So that's why I left. You know what I'm saying? And I was born there all my life. Or in case I didn't just come there or whatever. So, you know.
Hey, I've been here 30 plus years, so Metro Days never really gave me a problem. FHB's a bitch.
No, I agree with you, because for certain people, life be all good. But I'm just talking about for those people that don't look like me. It should be like that. Like, that's what I saw.
And real quick, I want to address that before you guys continue. In the comments, Draco was talking about the Florida thing. He said this is a political hack job. Leaked grand jury files, but no charges filed. Yeah, like what you guys did with Borrego Garcia. There was no charges. That happened. Go ahead, gentlemen.
So I want to ask you, right? Like, because this is why I came over. You were talking to Mike. when you was talking about like California and 2 years, they were supposed to do something and didn't do it. What was your premise of saying that?
What do you mean? Fired. I think it was Pasadena.
But you said they haven't done nothing in 2 years. Like what was you trying to mean by that? Like what was your premise of saying they haven't done nothing in 2 years?
Something like 200 houses were destroyed. Only 5 have been rebuilt, and it's all because of the bureaucracy of California.
Okay.
That was Florida, and we had fucking 500 houses destroyed. They would have been rebuilt already.
That's what made DeSantis like a good leader or a good governor?
Yeah, because every time we've had a hurricane under him, everything gets repaired right away within 2 weeks. Not in the news anymore.
And Newsom,
I mean, you live in Tampa, or do you live in Tampa, or where do you live?
No, I'm in Washington right now.
Okay, I'm confusing with Stick then. Stick is in Tampa.
But Newsom haven't done that, and that make him a bad leader, right? Like from how you point that out. Like him not getting that stuff done, and it's been 2 years.
It's also the homeless thing, how the homeless money spent. It's also the train that's been taking forever, which I understand it is mountainous, but still, eventually you gotta get the job done. And from what I understand, it's not even the mountains, it's environmentalists that are stopping them. So here, we got a train from in like 2-3 years, we now have a train from Miami to Orlando, and they keep expanding it further and further.
Okay, so
California spent billions on theirs, and they haven't done shit.
So the reason why I had asked you that, and I wanted to compare those and see how you felt about that time frame or whatever case should be like that. So it's been about 2 years, right? And going on 2 years, and my grocery price is not down, and my energy price is not cut in half. Or the case should be like that. And we still have a homeless problem in this country. And I remember that we was gonna get tired of winning. Or the case would be like that. So now that you had said that about Newsom, or whatever the case, and hold on, brother, you said that about Newsom. What you said was at some point you gotta get the goddamn job done. That's how you said it. So right now Trump is not doing those same things. He's doing the same thing that you talking about the Democrats about doing.
Can I answer now?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So this is the same thing I had a bet with King Finn about. Where he's not trying to pay up, and we can talk to him. You can bring him up next. Basically, Trump for energy prices. Trump ordered 10 nuclear plants to be built. We already have 4 that are built and working. They're not like selling electricity yet. They'll be selling electricity starting next year. And then on top of that, he's reopening 3 Mile Island and like some other plant. I mean, we're gonna get a lot. We're having right now like a nuclear power renaissance. So next year, your electric bill will go down.
Okay, by next year, go ahead.
Trump's done everything in his power to manipulate the market to keep oil prices down. And for the most part, if it wasn't for the Iran war, inflation would be down. And even with the war, inflation is still within like a reasonable amount.
Okay, so let's go with the power plant.
Means prices have stayed low.
Let's go with the power plant thing. They're not as low as they was when. Let's go with the power plant thing of what you were saying or whatnot like that. So just correct me if I'm wrong. So you meaning that when Trump was on the campaign trail, he said, "I'm gonna get these plants built, and by a little over 2 years, then y'all will start seeing it." Then he said, within my first 12 months. Like, which one of those did he say? I didn't want to, I don't know what he gonna do in the future. Because I
2 minutes
talking about. Okay, this is the last thing. I remember you telling Tim, you was like, you always talking about what Trump don't want to do in the future. I don't know what he's gonna do in the future. I don't know how it's gonna go in the future. But right now, you just said by next year,
I already said the plans are there. The plans are there. Usually it takes like 10 years
that's
to build
not
these.
what he
You got one
said.
built in a year.
But do you go by what you hope you're gonna do?
That's what they're going by. That's exactly what they're going
But he
by.
also increased our oil production. He increased our oil production by a lot. He fucking removed Venezuela, and now they're producing oil.
Are you talking about
we're producing more oil.
You talking about
our oil production production is way up. That's why oil prices are still reasonable. I mean, you guys said that oil is going to be like $200 by September, October.
We didn't say that. I saw Trump say that on TV. That people told him that. We didn't say that. But what I'm saying is,
I've had people on this fucking live, but other people say that oil is projected to be $100, $200.
Okay, let me just say this last piece so I can drop down because Tim said.
Let him finish it. Go ahead. Wrap it up.
Now, if oil reserves and everything with oil of that you are saying that Trump did, then that means that we wouldn't have never had to worry about higher gas prices because what was going on in the news. So, being that all that stuff is going on, if Trump said he has raised our strategic reserves, then somebody got to be lying. Thanks, Tim, for bringing me up. Y'all be easy.
You go ahead and respond to what he said. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I kind of also agree with him. Like, Trump has been doing a good job, but he also fucked up all the good shit he did with the stupid war in Iran. Which, as much as I kind of, like, support the war, because I would never support Iran, I didn't like it. From day one, I came against it. I'm still against it. I think we had to do it because they had we had a knife to our throat we didn't know about, which is they could have closed the Strait of Hormuz at any time. But if it wasn't for Iran, everything would be perfect.
Let me say this. I do want to hear you.
He did a good job. He just fucked it up with Iran.
Yeah, I want to respond. Before I read it, I do want to give you a couple of minutes because you said you want to talk about this socialism versus capitalism thing. But here's what I don't get. When you said before the Iran war, Trump was doing a pretty good job and stuff like that. Here's where you guys lose me. I've asked this question many times, and I've even asked folks who are straight up MAGA, do you believe President Trump is at the very least, I'm not saying Trump did anything to any children, but by not putting out the Epstein files, do you believe he is at least protecting pedophiles?
Most of it's just the other day with you.
Yeah, and so what I'm trying, hold on, you didn't let me finish. The point I'm trying to make is, how can a man that you actually believe doing a good job?
I've never. Pedophiles.
You don't think any pedals or any Epstein files?
I don't know if they are or not. Have everything, but guess what? There's a computer.
If you had to guess,
any of our
if you had to guess,
congressmen,
if you had to
I'm
guess,
guessing no.
So you're guessing there are no pedos in the Epstein files? It's a big nothing.
Because
burger.
if there are, they would have been arrested by the FBI.
You don't know
if
that.
There evidence of someone being.
Okay.
That's how the FBI works. Evidence to arrest someone, they arrest them.
Okay.
Especially if they're fucking Trump's friends. You don't think
all of that shit is redacted with no. There is nothing in this that really. This doesn't actually incriminate anybody. They just decided to redact all of that shit for no reason at all.
Because it's everything. But listen,
there is nothing there. If nobody did it, if nobody did it.
Right? Your congressman represents you, right? Your congressman can go to a computer in a secure SCIF and look at all the.
Why is that like that? If nobody did anything wrong, why do you got to go through all of that?
Publicly.
Why is it?
We gotta protect the victims. We gotta protect innocent people. But your congressman could go, or your senator could go to that SCIF and look at all the files themselves. And if there's anything there
I don't understand.
That you think I'm hiding, they could tell us.
I don't understand why the administration said the files are on my desk, they'll be released tomorrow. So they've been resistive and playing games with this for no reason at all, because there's no criminals in it, according to you.
I don't think there's evidence to arrest them. If somebody who could have been arrested, they would have arrested them. I mean, the only people that's been arrested so far that were got in trouble for other shit. Some guy was giving Epstein he was giving him inside information, and that's the guy that England that got arrested. Here's
where I'm baffled. You can look at the 2020 election and see all kinds of things that look suspicious. You don't see nothing suspicious with the Epstein files at all. Okay, socialism.
No, it's suspicious. It's suspicious, but it's not enough to arrest anybody. I'll give you that.
It's enough in there that you said you don't even think any criminals are in the files.
I don't think anyone. If there was someone that could have been arrested, why wouldn't the FBI arrest them? If they had evidence of.
Why is do you have any opinion why Ghislaine Maxwell suddenly had her accommodations greatly improved by the Trump administration? Why did they do that?
Because she's a cooperating witness. That's how it works.
She's cooperating. If there's nothing in the files, what is she cooperating about?
I don't know. Ask the FBI.
And that makes sense. What you're saying actually makes sense to me. This stuff makes sense to you.
I just don't have enough. I don't have enough information to say otherwise. If I had enough information, I would fucking go prosecute myself if I could.
Okay. Why is Trump talking?
Do you know anybody? Do you know any names? Do you know any pedophiles? I mean, you know the victims. Are the victims saying there's pedophiles? Why are they not the names?
Yeah. The victims are saying Trump is one of them.
Where is these victims?
They've been all over TV.
My understanding it was.
Okay, get to the socialism.
One girl.
Look.
And
The whole look.
Found her not credible.
I'll give you a couple minutes to talk about the socialism thing. The hole you're digging with this shit is so deep. I don't want to climb out of it. So
I'm not digging it. You're digging it. You're fucking digging it.
You lost even the MAGA side when you said you don't think there was any pedos in the Epstein files. Nobody believes that. What else were you?
So far, the more they release, keep releasing.
Scrap the socialism conversation. Okay, wait, if you want to continue, we'll scrap the socialism conversation because obviously you still want to keep talking about this.
The socialism thing. No, I want to talk about the socialism.
You got 2 minutes. Make it. State your case.
I don't even need 2 minutes.
I'm sure you say that a lot, but go ahead.
Okay, the thing you keep getting confused with socialism and communism, it's like socialism is being a conservative, and communism is like being a Republican. So communists is just like saying someone's a Republican. So they're kind of the same shit because most conservatives are Republicans, but you know they're kind of the same shit. But that's the difference.
I heard them say Obama was. They lost me when they said Obama was a socialist. From that point on, I don't trust any.
Was socialist as fuck.
If Obama's a socialist, then bring that back. Bring that beat back.
I mean, look what happened with Obamacare. It always starts out good, but over time, it just makes things worse. Because, eventually someone is going to be in charge that's going to fuck it up. Like when Trump came in and he took off the thing where you had to... And that's the other thing. You had to pay for it. With Obamacare, remember, we had to pay $500 a month, whether you wanted it or not.
I'm going to just tell you this. I look at how the country's being...
That's what you end up
I look at how the country is being... I look at how the country is being ran under Obama and you're alleged socialist. And I look at how the country is being ran under Trump. And it's not a strong case for capitalism. I mean, I'm looking at the economy, gas prices, we're at war. We don't know when it's going to end. Now we're breaking up with Canada, NATO, and all this shit. I don't like the capitalists, man. I'd rather go back to the socialists.
That's not capitalist or socialist. Most of that shit is just politics.
I'd rather go back. Give me the politics of the socialists.
And a lot of... Like Obamacare, when you have a system.
Give me the politics of the socialists. Give me the politics of the socialists. If that's what it is, then give me that, because we don't even know when the war is going to end.
I thought you were telling me an example.
No, I'm telling you.
Were you cool paying $500 whether you used Obamacare or not? You had to pay $500 not to use it,
as opposed to people not having insurance at all.
Yeah, because they force you to fucking pay for insurance.
But before Obamacare, there were people that had no insurance at all. Is that a better solution?
But they could have passed a law where it says
they didn't do it. But they didn't do it.
Okay, they should have.
They didn't.
Obamacare was just
well, I'm going to go with the guy. I'm going to go with the guy that passed a half-ass plan versus a party that passed nothing.
But look, the part with pre-existing condition, that was the only good.
The party that passed nothing, MAGA. A party that passed nothing.
Because it's hard to undo. It's hard to undo Obamacare.
I'm sticking with. I'm going to stick with a bad insurance plan over nothing every day and twice on Sunday. You're trying to promote nothing over a bad plan.
I remember insurance was way cheaper before.
Nothing.
That plan, so
I'm not going to go with nothing. Trump is talking about repealing Obamacare and putting nothing in its place. I'm not going to vote in favor of nothing.
Well, that nothing is responsible for our current economy because, you know, it's made healthcare unaffordable, and healthcare is a big part of your budget.
Right. The healthcare is why the gas prices and groceries are way up. That's what you telling me?
I mean, no, but it's also.
Your time is up. I gotta go. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. Next time I go to the grocery store, I'll blame Obamacare. Why the milk costs so much? In the comments, where's Trump's plan? Oh, it had nothing. Look, I'm not saying that Obamacare was perfect, but yeah, if the goal is to get rid of Obamacare and replace it with nothing, I'm gonna go with Obamacare. And that's what we have is people who have health care complaining about Obamacare because the people with nothing are of concern to them. The only way you're going to take care of people with nothing is it's going to cost the people with something some money. The people with something don't care about the people with nothing. That's why they're bitching about Obamacare, because it costs them a little bit to help out the downtrodden. They want to leave the downtrodden down. I'm not going to vote for that. I do believe it's okay to help people every now and then. But that is the biggest argument, is that Obamacare made me have to pay more. Or not do that. You would rather leave them uninsured. So that's where the problem is. In the comments, though, Bush crashed everything we never recovered. Yikes. There's nothing you can pay cash. What does that say? There's nothing you can pay cash when you go to the doctor. Sometimes it's a lot cheaper, but you must save your ducats if you go. You're really trying to argue that you pay cash when you go to the doctor? 90% of the shit you go to the doctor for, probably even higher than that, probably 95 to 99% of the shit you go to the doctor for, the average American can't pay for it. It's got to be something really mild. Maybe you're going to get vaccinated, or you got a cold and you're just going to have them write you a prescription. If you need anything done to you, you probably can't pay for it. You break your leg, or you need a minor surgery, you know, you need to be put on anesthesia. You cannot, most Americans cannot pay for that. Pay cash? Really? All right, let me go. Most Americans, health insurance in this country is so bad. Most Americans cannot even afford to cover what's left after the insurance kicks in. The deductible, the out-of-pocket cost, the copay. Most Americans can't even afford to pay that. You're trying to suggest insurance at all. Yeah. In the comments here, you can, and there are minor shit. If you cancel, you ain't paying for that out of cash. You're not paying for any serious ailment. You're not paying for that in cash unless you got a really good job, really good income. What is the average salary in America? Probably $60,000 a year or something like that. You ain't paying for no doctors out of your pocket like that. You're crazy on that. You're not gonna be able to routinely pay for that shit. I mean, even going to the dentist and getting cavity shit filled. I know from having a crown, they make you pay 50% of that, and that's a few $100s. You going to the doctor a few times. Only way this works is if you're exceptionally healthy and you only go to the doctor maybe once every blue moon. But if you actually got real things wrong, you ain't paying in cash. I don't care what kind of deal they make with you. You ain't gonna be able to keep paying it. That ain't gonna work. Our government was never designed to do half the shit we have it do now, especially cover people for health insurance. I don't understand how the country that's supposed to be the freest, wealthiest country on earth cannot do what all the other countries are able to do. What our country was not designed for is constantly going around the world traveling and in everybody's fucking business. That's what we were not designed to do. Let's play the world's police. Get rid of that, and you could cover a hell of a lot more health insurance than you think. Let me go back to the box. Not to the other shit we've been talking about since the program started. King, good evening and welcome to the program. And by the way, some of you folks did support C. Osby and all the rest of you folks. Thank you for the hat, mustache, TikTok, cap goes, blue one banks, and some of you folks that have King Finn Good evening.
Welcome back. Hello, Tim.
How's it going?
Hello, Tim. I'm fine. I just happen to be listening to your program while you keep letting that misinformation artist get up here and talk that fucking nonsense. The shit don't make no fucking sense. Makes sense, dog. It's sickening that he continues to run off at the mouth. Oh, and by the way, pay up, bitch. You owe me. A reactor and a power plant are two different things. You fucking know it. And if you don't, look at Google, you dumb bitch.
Ooh.
A mini reactor.
He's alter ego. Thank you. He's already advised like the Candyman. Don't say his name 3 times. He's already
I don't
stated
give a
that.
fuck what he's saying. Fuck that bitch. Pay me, bitch. A mini reactor and a test reactor are way different than a fucking power plant. It takes 10 years to put a power plant on the map. 2027, don't yank my dick, fucker. Pay up. However, so, as if I was saying, it's hilarious that these people who don't want to pay shit but still they want money from the government. He down there in Florida talking all of that bullshit.
But he's in the comments. He says he did say reactors. He said no more word games.
I got the text messages and I can really give less than a fuck, dog. You full of shit. A power plant and a mini test reactor are two different things. It's not gonna be online in 2027 serving the grid. It fucking reached critical mass. Yes, it did. A test reactor. And I can bring all 4 companies up and I can show you the information where they are just test reactors or mini reactors. It's not even a full reactor. And it's not a power plant. And that was the bet. 4 power plants online, by your definition, reach critical mass. There are not 4 power plants online. Pay up. However so. It's really hilarious that these motherfuckers from these red states continue to want to call about, the government so much money on this and this and that. Man, get the fuck out of here. Because when Florida has a hurricane, y'all the first motherfuckers calling up FEMA. Y'all the first motherfuckers.
Well, I will say, to me, it's absolutely clear that they actually do not care about waste, fraud, and abuse. They don't. They care about what Trump designates waste, fraud. Because Trump, just renaming lakes and shit. All of that stuff is just wasting taxpayer money. MAGA says, well, it's only a small amount, so we're okay. It's waste. It's waste. We're firing employees. That ain't much money. You're firing people. You're telling SNAP recipients they can't buy candy, but it's okay for him to go out and rename lakes. I mean, waste is waste, and he is doing is wasting money on this stuff. But you gotta guess, you got MAGA. He apparently disagrees with you.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm just gonna show you the text messages so you can see this motherfucker's lying his ass off.
Please do, because I have text messages I can show as well, sir.
It's the same message.
We're waiting.
Where the fuck is King?
Post what you got. And by the way, I see that catastrophic. Has anybody seen the videos coming out of Nepal? Man, that stuff is horrible. Yeah, man, they got swept away by these walls of water.
All right, so here are the messages between King and me, right?
We're not going to be able to read that. There we go. Let you zoom really in.
I'll take care of it. Yeah, I got you. First of all, we're using my definition, which means that they reach criticality. So if they reach criticality, they're online. Also, you could see.
You scrolling so fast, I can't read shit.
I'll stop when I get to the spot.
Okay, well, get to the top because you don't talk until you get to the beginning because I can't do none of what you're putting up there.
Well, I can't see his shit either.
Belcher says, I love inflation.
I know.
Let me put it together.
The Lake Ontario shirt values are up. Yeah, you go out and buy that shit like and Bibles and shit. That stuff's going to be, his crypto, that stuff eventually is going to be useless. You go out and buy you a Lake you said Lake Ontario. You buy any of that Lake America shit, that stuff's going to be trash eventually. But Lake Ontario is going to really be around.
You see right here, I said reactors. That's the one first spot where I said reactors.
Because we know that there are 4 reactors. Okay, we know that 4 reactors reach criticality. What is there to bet on? And he said,
what I said.
He said, so there are 4 power plants
online.
So that's where the misstep is right there. He's talking about power. He's talking about reactors, and he's talking about reactors, and you counter with power plants.
Hold on. Keep on.
Hold on. See, look. Then I said, all this tells me is you want to play word games. No, thank you. These plans didn't exist. Trump funded them. They were built. I also said I'm not playing word games with you. So saying plans versus reactors is a fucking word game. Because Tim, if I told him plans, he would understand fucking reactors and vice versa. And I use both words because they're kind of the same.
No, they're not. No. A power plant and a reactor is not.
Long story short, I clearly say no word games. And even though I said reactors, you kept saying plans.
I'm having a hard time judging this one. I'm having a hard time judging this one. I gotta admit.
Also, what else? Also, he agrees that we're using my definitions.
Yep.
Okay, I don't care. It still means reactors. When I said power plants, I meant reactors, and you know I meant reactors because I even listed them. I gave them to you one by one in the fucking live. I was like, number 1 is here in Georgia.
To me, it sounded like you guys had a misunderstanding between reactors and power plants.
He's full of shit and he need to pay up. Notice I continue to say.
Also, we agreed to use my definitions. So whatever I define the plant to be is the definition.
No, sir. No, it's not.
Hold on, let me see the part where he said.
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys another 2 minutes. I got it because this is way off topic, but I'm gonna say based on what I'm seeing, it just sounds like you guys had a misinterpretation of what you're talking about.
Right.
I know he was full of shit. I know he was full of shit, but like
4 power plants. Online by your definition again, the word.
Yeah, my definition of a power plant is a fucking reactor.
And you're fucking
and my definition of being online is criticality. I don't care. You agreed to use my definition. I could say they're fucking candy and it would be correct because it's my definition.
You're like a little bitch. Pay up the $100.
I gotta move it on. I can't rule on this. I cannot rule on it because to me it looked like you guys just had a misunderstanding of what you were talking about.
No, I knew he was playing games, and I was like, "We're not playing games. If this is not a real bet, we're not doing this." And he's like, "No, I'm not playing games."
All right.
And then it turns out he was playing
All right.
games.
Well, MAGA, I gotta go ahead. I gotta drop you, but like I said, I can't rule on it based on what I'm seeing. All right, Stick. I got a couple more minutes for you. So. That one's I'm not on either side on that one, King.
It doesn't matter. He lost the bet. 4 power plants and 4 reactors are 2 different things. And it might even be a little bit better for him if he was talking about a full reactor. Those 4 mini reactors, those 4 test reactors are not full reactors. And a whole reactor, there are more than 1 reactor in a power plant. Am I wrong or am I right?
No. Well, the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying because he mentioned reactors, and you said so there's 4 power plants. I mean, he was clearly talking about reactors, and you responded asking him about power plants.
No. That was me that said that there are 4 power plants. And at the end of the bet, I said, "You're sure?"
I'd have to really look at that shit in detail, but right now I'm not prepared to make a decision on it.
However, so I don't give a fuck about that. He lost the bet. However, so pay a bitch. However, so 30K in beef just got rejected by the USDA because the Trump administration tried to slide it through and sent it to Florida and Texas. 30K in beef from Argentina. Let's talk about that.
So they're already in the process of sending the beef over, and it's not passing inspection.
They already sent it. They tried to sneak it by the USDA, the fucking regulations, and
Wow.
now Texas and Florida are recalling that 30,000 pounds.
Why would they do that?
Yes.
You could make somebody sick.
Because it's probably not beef. It's probably the wild Mustangs that he's been fucking corralling and sending off to a fucking Argentina slaughterhouse. But hey, how do we know? That's why
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You're trying to tell me the Trump administration attempted to have this beef bypass inspection, but it may be horse meat?
It's not. They didn't attempt to, Tim. They did. They didn't attempt to. They slid it by the USDA because they fired more than half of the fucking USDA fucking force in the Doge bullshit. They fired all those people. They didn't attempt to do shit. They sent it to Texas. They sent it to Florida, and that shit had to be recalled ASAP. There's a nationwide fucking recall on that 30K pounds of beef. Or excuse me, supposed beef, because we don't know if it's beef or if it's fucking horse. Because at the same time he's doing that, again, he's rounding up wild Mustangs and sending them to an Argentina slaughterhouse. So how the fuck do we know? We don't. That's why there are a lot of TikToks out here that are showing the difference between horse meat ground up and beef ground up.
Do they look really similar?
Well, other than the deep red color in horse meat, no, they don't. There's a deep red color in horse meat. That's why
this motherfucker trying to feed people horses?
Yes.
Oh my God.
That's why if you look up Blue Dot Farms on TikTok, look up Blue Dot Farms on YouTube. There's a band of over 3,000 fucking farmers that are coming together to start selling their own beef, their own product, their own slaughterhouse, their own chickens, their own eggs, their own lamb, because that shit's happening.
I haven't heard MAGA saying anything. I haven't heard MAGA saying anything.
Oh, did you hear that? That another Harvard doctor came out and said that this motherfucker is either, what did he say? Either he has frontal temporal dementia, and that he's massive malignant narcissist. That was the word.
But what about what Danny Dan in the comments said? He says people have been eating horse for years, but not unknowingly.
Well, I mean, hey, I guess if you've been eating it like that, that's what you like.
Yeah, I mean, if it's okay to eat horse meat, fine, but let the consumer know that what you're eating is actually a fucking horse. I mean, don't be dishonest with it.
I prefer my burger to say moo, not like I don't prefer my.
Wow, that's bad. If they actually tried to fake what people were eating, that's terrible.
You're saying it like it didn't happen, Tim. There are more than several.
I didn't hear it on Fox.
Look it up.
I didn't hear it on Fox News.
Do your own research, Tim. There's more than enough information out there for you to do your own
research. MAGA Reacts says you're lying. He says they didn't do this. King is lying.
Don't nobody give a fuck what he say. He don't know shit anyway. Didn't we already prove this when Mike was on earlier? Don't we prove this every time he opens his mouth?
Man, can somebody do a DNA on the meat and prove it's horse though?
I don't know.
I mean, if they can prove that, to me, if they can prove that, that's really damning.
Oh, also another note, and while we're talking about things that need to be regulated, did you know that there's another outbreak? There's more than just the lettuce that has cyclospora. So now they're saying cucumbers, onions, there are a couple of different things. I don't remember the whole list. I have to bring the whole list out. But there are a lot more things that they're saying have the cyclospora parasite that we might want to watch because, Taylor Farms is actually using inmates to farm their crop instead of paying people the actual motherfucking wage to do it. Guess that's what happens to get rid of that type of workforce. Thanks, Trump.
Yeah, that's what I was arguing with Straight Talk the other day about is for-profit prisons because of shit like that. I mean, you start fucking with jobs and stuff and you can make inmates work for free.
And you got them inmates out here and they can't shit or piss without asking, can we go piss, boss? What you think they finna do? They finna piss right in your lettuce.
God damn. You paid some grim shit, man. You paid some
You're saying I'm painting it like it didn't already happen.
I didn't hear it on Fox. I didn't hear it on Fox.
I'm telling you, it's here. I'm in Michigan. We ain't been able to buy lettuce in almost a month now.
Yeah, I did hear that. Wow.
Right. Oh, and that thing again, you know that ComEd, which is, I think it's Illinois.
Yeah, that's Commonwealth Edison.
Right. And NIPSCO, ComEd went to NIPSCO, went to Indiana to go help. It's like 15 to 20 workers went to NIPSCO and said, hey, how can we help? Can we come help? NIPSCO turned them around and shipped them back to Utah. Fuck helping these people.
Why?
Why? I don't know. Well, maybe we should ask the worker who did a TikTok and said it.
Alter Ego's in the comments saying you're wrong. He says they are actually there working.
You know what's so funny about this is everybody can say I'm wrong, but bring the proof.
I gotta move it on. This is disturbing, but I hope I'm wanting you to be wrong. I don't think you are. But I want you to be wrong.
All I'm gonna say is like what Gangster Grandma said, stop saving these napkins, dog. I got 2 new pictures out there for you. I hope you like them.
All right. Appreciate it. Real good talk, good conversation. Tap in the 20,000 or 10,000. I live 10 minutes from Gary, says Artigo. So you live near Gary? Are you in Hammond or actually to the east of it, right? The neighborhoods get better when you go east of Gary. Yeah, you go further in Indiana. On YouTube, someone said the residents at the workers. So some of the residents of Gary, Indiana, are shooting at the folks trying to restore power. Gary, Indiana is a wild place. There's a lot of crime there. But that doesn't make sense. Why would they just shoot at a power person for no reason at all? I mean, are they trying to steal some shit off the truck? There's got to be more to that story. I'm curious to see, though. I'm going to actually see what I can find on that. I mean, anything can happen because Gary, Indiana is super high in crime, but just shooting at the power plant workers for no reason at all makes no sense. They don't do something good. That might be some right-wing shit to try to defend the fact that a red state like India is not doing much about it. I see Chicago Tribune says security beefed up after NIPSCO lineman shot at in Gary. So this is August 15th. So it looks like it happened to one person. Here's another one that says Gary police said 2 NIPSCO employees were scouting around. I mean, it looks like maybe one person did get shot at. It doesn't look like this is something that's happening all over the place. But I'm just curious to see what I can find on this story. Because somebody else had mentioned it earlier, so I'm curious to see what comes.
Simultaneously, city leaders said power restoration was continuing, contradicting that claim. Now residents that we talked to feel like they are facing the consequences for someone else's bad actions.
I heard something like a big old explosion. Boom! Then I heard 2 more. Boom, boom!
Whether they heard it in person or saw the video online, hear what you think when you heard about it. Residents in Gary are frustrated by the shooting that may have delayed their power restoration.
But they ain't pausing when they take our money. We're the first to get cut off when anything happens. NIPSCO.
It's hurting us because of the situation, so we have to suffer until they can actually get out here and do something.
Gary police say 2 NIPSCO employees were scouting around Rutledge Street just before 1 a.m. Saturday when someone fired on this vehicle, hitting the company Jeep twice. 1 bullet lodged in the back of a headrest. Investigators say the company vehicle was followed by an off-duty officer from an outside agency, but neither the employee nor the officer saw the gunman. Still, the safety concerns prompted NIPSCO to say they were pausing restoration efforts in Gary around noon.
No work has stopped.
But a video from Gary later.
One isolated incident that the work has stopped.
A NIPSCO communications manager told CBS News Chicago that work did resume that afternoon by 4 p.m., with the city committing to more manpower.
So we have an organized effort. We're actually meeting right now.
Okay.
We got a crew that's meeting with other
It's
people.
obviously a one-off event. I mean, it's unacceptable, but it's a one-off event. So it's not like people are climbing poles and getting shot at. A one-off event. Calvin says it sounds shady. Yeah, it makes no sense to just do that for somebody else, or thought it was somebody else and hit the wrong person or something. It doesn't make sense. There are storms in the hood all the time, and common lesson, or in this case, NIPSCO has to come out, and it ain't common to hear power. So I don't know what the story is behind it. My guess is they probably will not find whoever did this because there's not much more to it. Anyway, looking in the comments, Chicago's had more gunshot wounds than my ex in the Middle East platoon. You could say that about any major city in America. America's a very gun fanatic state or country. I mean, you can talk about Chicago, but it ain't like the cities in Florida. You guys always like to bring up Florida and Texas. You know, plenty of people getting shot in those states too. You know, Ubalde wasn't in the hood. Some kids. So go figure. Anyway, looking at the comments, where's the flock cameras? Those things are real unpopular, by the way. Flock cameras are probably only one notch below data centers when it comes to being unpopular. They're not popular. Preach Man Preach says, Nicole, I think what our country was not designed for is for the citizens to pay all these taxes. Look it up. Everybody, and I'm late seeing your comment, Handsome Conservative, but look, everybody got a different pushback on how they want their tax money spent. I don't think being constantly at war, I don't think our country was designed for that. 20 years in Iraq, I don't think our country, we're going to say our country wasn't designed to give people health care. It wasn't designed to be in foreign wars constantly. We seem to keep finding money to do that. And to me, President Trump has shown that you can do a lot more to help poor people because he keeps finding money to do stuff he wants, keeps finding it. I can't stop bringing up that Qatar jet. Hundreds of millions of dollars went to refurbish that. It absolutely was just a luxury item. It wasn't absolutely needed because they've already approved another Air Force One. It's just taking a little bit extra time for it to be completed. But the current Air Force One we have, you could easily fly in that thing for another 10, 20 years. You got access to every single part that plane needs as many times as you need it. It does not have to be replaced other than we just want something that looks more modern. So that Qatar jet that Trump is claiming is going to go in the Smithsonian, that was not necessary. It's hundreds of millions to refurbish that. That money could have went to one of those programs. One of those programs we talk about that the country was not designed to handle. It could have went to one of those. You want to complain about you're paying too much in taxes? Well, some of it's going to shit like that. He didn't need that. Let me go back to the box. Trump is killing, stealing, lying, raping, and trying his hardest to colonize, says B3. Damn. That's a lot. That's a lot. And I'd rather a country give us a jet than I have to pay for a jet and refurbish a jet because that's it. It was taken, because it's more advanced technology nowadays. Yeah. No, you're making up excuses. I suppose you probably would defend Trump's creating the Tribunal Arch. I suppose you got a reason to defend him putting this picture all over Washington, D.C. All that's costing tax money. You guys are constantly talking about waste, fraud, and abuse. And no matter what Trump spends your tax money on, you suddenly got a way of defending it. Because it's waste, fraud, and abuse. I mentioned Lake Ontario. Or now he wants to rename it Lake of America. We're going to pay money to do that. Well, he come up with an excuse for why that's okay. Anyhow. And Diemo says, liberals love free shit. I don't know why the plane bothers you. Because it's free shit. It's free shit that you're complaining about free shit. A big poster of Trump's face in D.C. That's free shit. You pay for that. You're literally paying for him. Jean Carroll, the woman that he defended, won the $80 million lawsuit against him. You're the one that's paying for him to fight against paying that lawsuit off. He lost in the Supreme Court now. You're paying for his attorneys. That's free shit that you seem to be okay with. You're against free shit for poor people. You're okay with free shit for wealthy people. That's free shit. All that stuff he's getting is free shit. Tribunal Arch as in triumph. Triumph over what? Triumph over U.S. taxpayer money? We the rebel? Let me go back to the box. All of the stuff he's doing, all that stuff is free shit. Putting his name on the Kennedy Memorial and taking it down and putting it back up. All that's free shit. You're paying for him to do all of that. It's free shit. But the person that wants health care, oh, we can't do that. That's you're paying for this man. He's a billionaire, and you're paying for him to do all of that stuff. That's free shit. What is the name there? Bad. What does that say? Good evening. Are you there?
Hello?
Yeah, are you there? Can you hear me?
I'm here, Tim. I was doing the lights for you, man.
I appreciate it. I'll go ahead and drop you. Thank you. Keep tapping the screen. Moving on. Yeah, you guys are against free shit until Trump starts getting free shit. Then you come up with an excuse for why it's okay. I mean, that's what you're basically saying. He could build anything, and you're suddenly okay with it. You just give you some kind of excuse, like what Rita Rebel was. It's a triumph arch as triumph. Triumph over what? He just went to Paris, saw what they had, and wanted one bigger. And you got, well, okay, yeah, we could use that. Travel man. Welcome to the program, Travel. The jet is quid pro quo. Yes, but the refurbishment of the jet, not to mention, I don't know if trading them to fly F-15s may not come back to bite us, but certainly having to refurbish the jet, we're paying for that. It would be different if he took, well, first of all, you shouldn't take a jet from a foreign country. But let's say he took the jet from the foreign country. We're going to make this Air Force One, and it'll be used by every president going forward. That's one thing. But to take the jet, I'm going to fly around in it, and then when I'm done, it's going to go in my Smithsonian. So that means only you got a jet that only you will use. And by the way, there's no way in hell I believe a top-notch jet is going to be completely taken out of service in 2 years and put in the Smithsonian. There's no way. I don't think anybody believes that. That man's still going to be flying that shit. Travelman, good evening.
Oh, Tim, how you doing, man?
I don't even know, man.
Even after they finish all this $1 billion refurbishment, it's still not going to meet all the security that Air Force One has. Okay, but right quick, Tim, before I say anything, I was listening earlier, and MAGA was gloating about how fast stuff gets done in Florida as compared to Texas. So I went out and took a look, and since 2022, all the hurricanes that hit the country, right, that hit the state, out of all the houses, only 5% has been rebuilt since 2022. Out of well over 50,000, only about 400 has been rebuilt.
Now
then I broke it down.
Now MAGA Reacts is obviously comparing Florida to California, not Texas. But what you're saying is they do not. You're saying they do not rebuild houses, like he said.
No, you got Hurricane Ian, 2022. 5,000 homes were knocked down, 30 and damaged 30,000. Only 61 houses been built.
He's in the comments saying he doesn't believe what you're saying.
I'm reading the shit.
Well,
Hurricane Idea 2023. Same thing. Big Bend. 2 to 3 years. Timeline for reconstruction. 2 to 4 years. Hey, I don't come and say anything unless I done went and looked it up.
Yeah, I'll just say this. We don't even have to necessarily go with Florida. They just keep bringing up Florida and comparing it to California because they think Florida's a bastion of success. We know what happened in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. New Orleans is a Republican state.
Well, the question I have, because they love to talk about the Republican states. And if the Republican states down south, if they're so great and their policies are so great, why the fuck are they at the bottom of everything?
Well, I gotta disagree with you for one thing. They actually do not talk about Republican states. They bash liberal areas. They really do not celebrate Republican areas much. They just bash them. I mean, they'll tell you about California. They're not out there celebrating West Virginia or Kentucky. They don't really say anything about their areas. They just bash the liberal areas.
But that doesn't take away from the question. They bash Democratic states and cities all the time.
Yeah.
If Republican states are so great, why are they at the bottom for everything? pretty much all non-union automobile plants are down south, right? They got a lot of businesses moved down south. Why are they at the freaking bottom of everything?
Yeah.
You know, because the policy they have is so great, you know, and they love to bring up, like you say, bash the states and shit. They love to bash the ACA, you know. But what they never mention is that from day one, the freaking Republicans sabotaged the ACA. Everything they could do, they did it.
Well,
and now it's not even.
If it's one thing that I think is absolutely clear is that Republicans do not have concern on whether Americans are insured or not. Their belief is you need to figure out a way of getting yourself health care. It's not our job to do it. And either you figure it out or you go around uninsured. They are not concerned. That is one area of America that they don't have any concern with.
And there's also one area where, compared to the rest of the world, we're a bunch of coneheads.
Yeah. We're not good in that area. I'll certainly say that, but they don't believe in. You breaking up. Go ahead again.
I lived in the UK for 4 years. I seen the national health care, right?
Right.
Now they also have private doctors, but they also got the national health system. We're one of the few industrialized countries, Tim, that don't have anything, no kind of national health care stuff going on. Just like we don't have kindergarten for our kids. We don't have daycare for our kids. We're one of the 2 or 3 industrialized countries that don't have any of that. But we do have a 1.5, well, they want to have a $1.3 trillion defense budget.
Yeah. And that's where the money is.
Why do we need to go from 750 billion to over $1 trillion?
Because what
we don't have money to pass.
What they are doing is taking our tax money and beefing up the military so they can use the military to start conflicts, because conflicts are enriching the people at the top. That's why they don't favor entitlement programs. But they've never seen a war they didn't like, because war creates money for the people at the top. And that's what they're doing. They could have these social programs, but it would stop us from being able to afford to constantly be at war. And people are making money off of war that don't want that.
Tim, they broke the military. They broke the freaking military. They fired. Okay, take a look at this. They said that the Army had 10 4-star generals when Hegseth came in. Now, those generals were captains, lieutenants, and majors doing Afghanistan and Iraq. Those are your generals. That's why they got the experience and they can put together the war plan.
Why do you think, what was the point of getting rid of them? Why do you think they got rid of them?
Because they under the impression that the military, the generals, if you're not 100% behind Trump policy, then you got to go. Look, Tim, when in 20 years in the military, I don't think I knew anybody political persuasion when I was in the military. We just didn't talk about it. We didn't care. You know? So they broke the Army, because now even a 4-star general is saying that the Army is pretty much rudderless, and based on what we've done in Iran, it's a certainty that Iran is going to develop a nuke. They broke the Navy, not one carrier, but 2. The Ford won't be out of the yards for at least 18 months.
Damn.
Now you got to send the Lincoln into the. Now you take a look at the wear and tear on the airframes on the jets. Okay, that's damage. That's dealing with the serviceable life of the and also the fighters, not just the fighters, but all the planes. Every time they take off and land on the airframe. So they didn't broke that. You're gonna have low retention and high divorce when the Lincoln get back. And not only that, they're so fucked up that the Lincoln left and 2 of their destroyers had to stay back with the Washington.
How do you respond? Draco in the comments says most branches of the armed forces are top heavy with generals. So he's making it sound like you probably had some redundancy anyway.
You got freaking, I don't even know how many in the army. You got 400,000 people in the army, and you got 10 four-star generals. You got four-star generals that head up the major components. Those are guys that came up through damn Afghanistan and Iraq, and now they're in the position to plan these wars and do the war fighting strategy. Same thing in the Navy. The same damn thing. Those guys that come up now, the guys we have in the leadership position now in the military, they're all veterans of Iraq and Afghanistan, and now they're in the leadership position. Just like when you had Storm and Norman and Joe Hall, they came up through Vietnam.
Yeah.
And they go to military. Man, kiss my ass.
Well, you listen. We all know Trump does not promote based on experiences. He promotes based on loyalty. So I mean, Hegseth is a perfect example. Hegseth is there because of loyalty, not experience. What is his name? Kennedy is another one. Kennedy is there because of loyalty, not experience.
Yeah, you can see it. I mean, and as a result, look where we at. Look what we got going on in Iran. Look what we got. We have lost our military bases. Some of those bases are reopened because now the Gulf Coast countries, the Gulf countries are saying, wait a minute, maybe we shouldn't have these bases in here because they're not really protecting us anyway.
Yeah.
And you know why we had 9/11. That because they wanted to force the U.S. to take the troops out of the Middle East. That was the main reason for 9/11.
Well,
and now Trump has managed to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? You can't fix stupid. And you got these knuckleheads running around here still hollering about the shit that he's doing. He is the most fucked up president that we've had in a long time.
I mean, he is polarized. He's polarized, and I can't argue with that. He likes controversy.
Fucked up. Everything he touched turned to shit. Everything. The military. He done fucked us up internationally. He done damn made Carney. He done made Carney big man on the world stage. Countries rather talk to Carney than his stupid ass.
Come with the Prime Minister of Canada. Do you think we'll heal that relationship?
It's going to take a long time, Tim. All the countries to heal behind Trump. I'm talking probably talking 15, 20 years, man. That's how fucked up it is right now. You got the countries, they're not even coming to us now for trade. They're doing trade deals amongst themselves. So they ain't coming bullshit like all that, waste, fraud, abuse bullshit. We are losing everything the United States built since World War II. This dickhead came in and dismantled it. Everybody talk, they've been misusing the United bullshit.
Yeah, but that is what Trump and MAGA believe. The whole world has been using and abusing us, and Trump is putting a stop to it.
You know what? I'm so fucking tired of this whining. That's all they doing is fucking. MAGA is full of grievance. That's all they full of. And they've been using us. We set the shit up. We set the shit up. And you know why BRIC is starting to kind of get a little traction, not a whole lot, but some traction. It's because we keep putting sanctions on everybody. And now people are saying, now the countries are saying, well, wait a minute, y'all keep putting sanctions on us. We can't trust we can still use the dollar. So all that trade and shit that they trying to stop Iran from doing with China is being paid in damn Chinese yuan or whatever the hell they use over there.
China may make out like a bandit behind all of this shit.
China is making out like a bandit. Not only are they making out like a bandit, they kicking our ass and all other kind of shit. Because we got our heads stuck up. We suffering from head up Trump's ass syndrome.
Why do you think you see things so differently than MAGA though? Because MAGA's still like, look, Obama this, Biden that, Trump ain't that bad. Why do you think MAGA see things so differently than you?
okay, maybe because I look at reality. I look at reality. When Trump came in the first time, he was handed a growing economy. I mean, we're coming out of the Great Recession. They said it's going to take about, all the economists said it's going to take about 10 to get it back right.
I think.
And then COVID, and then 2019, and he left office.
Yeah. Travel man.
Economy. The economy, okay, everybody wasn't you know.
Yeah, I may have to drop your signal's going in and out. I think we're losing signal. Yeah. All right.
Okay, what about now?
Yeah, okay, now it's better. I can hear you.
Okay.
What were you saying? Make your point.
When he came in, he took over from Biden. And the economists, the economists had a headline that said the U.S. economy was the envy of the world. That's what he took over. Yeah, we had high prices on some other stuff, but all that shit was driven by C-19. Look what he.
Yeah, you're going. I gotta drop you. I gotta drop. Your signal's going in and out. I don't know. I mean, you must be in a bad area. Okay. We'll finish it up another time. Thank you, Travel Man. I heard what you said, some of it. Real quick in the comments. By the way, I still have that poll. I was going to change it to something else, but so many folks responded. Wow. Will Trump threaten to attack Canada militarily? And I'll add on if they keep basic tariff, trade war. Will Trump threaten to attack Will Trump threaten to attack Canada militarily? Now, threatening is different than doing. So this question is not meant to say, is Trump going to use the military on Canada? This question is, will he threaten to do it? Remember, he's threatened Colombia. He's military on Panama. By the way, he actually, I believe, already have threatened in regards to making them the 51st state. He threatened, he said the military was not off the table when taking Greenland. He has threatened to use the military in a lot of countries. So I'm asking, will Trump threaten Canada militarily? Not do it, threaten it. I have 1,256 respondents. That's a healthy dose of respondents. And by the way, if you're watching, tap the screen and smash that like button if you're watching on YouTube. You enjoy content like this, certainly subscribe to the program. We're here most weekdays. Subscribe. You don't have to have any political affiliation, left, right, or indifferent. We bring folks up no matter what your political affiliation is. We don't block, ban, or censor you. We are MAGA friendly. Our comments go left of Mom Donnie to I'm having dinner with Q. Alter Ego, thank you for the hat and mustache. Appreciate that. So here's the answer, or here's the poll results. 1,258 respondents, 38% say yes, Trump will threaten to attack Canada militarily. 62% say no. And it's been kind of in that percentage range since the poll began. About a third of the people have been saying yes, Trump will threaten Canada militarily. I don't know where I don't know where I am on this one. I don't feel confident saying yes or no. Like I said, Trump is threatened to attack a lot of countries militarily. Remember, Cuba is supposed to be next after Iran. So he has threatened to use the military on a lot of countries. He threatened to bomb the shit out of Oman about 2 weeks ago. I mean, he's only been president about 1 3/4 of a year. So he hasn't been president for, and we're still in Venezuela, Cuba, Colombia, Panama, obviously Iran, Oman. That's 6 countries already in less than 2 years. That's 6. Greenland is 7. I'm trying to think who else. I think Syria was in the mix. I'm not going to say Syria for sure, but I think Syria was in the mix. We actually did bomb Gaza. I mean, Trump has struck about 10 countries. This is the guy that wanted the Nobel Peace Prize and was talking about no new wars. He literally changed the Department of Defense to the Department of War and lived up to it. Once again, remember like what handsome conservatives said. Our country was not designed for citizens to pay taxes for stuff like universal health care. 10 different conflicts in less than 2 years. That's a lot. That may actually, he may break a record with that by the time we're done. I mean, we'll see, but he may end up breaking some records by the time he's done in regards to how many countries we use military weapons force on in such a short period of time. That's a lot for only a year and 3/4 of a year. That's a lot. Anyway, looking in the comments, Ratcliffe flew to Russia to have a face-to-face meeting with his counterparts in Russia. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out why Jared Kushner met with Hakeem Jeffries. I don't know. The Trump administration is hard to really. It's hard to really be sure why they do what they do, because the man ran on America first, and now he's trying to promote Argentine beef. I have no clue why he's doing that, other than some way somehow to be in good favor with the nation of Argentina. Why would he do that when almost all of the cattle ranchers that are making money off beef in this country voted for you? Why would you people above them when you campaigned on America first? So I don't know why Trump does what he does. Some of it does not make sense. That is one of them. That does not make sense why you would say America first and then be singing the praises of Argentina, and you're trying to rescue Venezuelan citizens and Iranian protesters. When do we America part? I mean, he still hasn't reached America first. You're just coming up with new excuse after excuse for why you put something else. He's more like international first. Anyway, looking in the comments, why isn't Canada officials saying what they don't like about the deal? Nothing specific, just I don't know what. It's a good point. I don't know why the Canadian officials are not saying what they like about the tariff deals with Trump. But I'm going to tell you, even if you and I are making a deal and your terms are fair, but you're constantly treating me like shit, calling the prime minister governor, which is incredibly disrespectful. Calling the prime minister governor, and you're saying we don't need you, you need a. I mean, Trump has been disrespecting Canada ever since becoming president. So your question is, why would they potentially turn down if it's not that bad? The guy who's making the deal is treating them like shit. I mean, Trump has said a lot of horrible things about Canada since becoming president. So it wouldn't surprise me. I don't believe it. I'd have to hear the details of the deal, but you're going to make somebody just become resistive when you're just treating them like shit. They're not going to work with you very well when you're treating them like that. Trump wouldn't do it. If you were treating Trump like Trump treats other countries, Trump would not be a happy camper. He would not just work with you if you treat him like, and you can see when folks criticize Trump and do, you can see how MAGA reacts. MAGA don't like the stuff that Trump is doing. They don't want it done. Like when Charlie Kirk lost his life, you can see they didn't like having Kirk talked about the way they talked about a lot of their other adversaries. They didn't like it. They suddenly didn't like it. In the comments here real quick, rename Canada to the 51st. Yeah, rename Canada to the 51st, take over Greenland for our own personal gain, all of that shit. So yeah, they're not. I mean, we came on the scene saying we didn't need NATO. NATO was useless, and they need us. So yeah, if you try to enter a deal with these people, they're probably not going to be very favorable to you. Not to mention, I'm going to say right off the bat, after seeing Trump, Paris Accord, NAFTA, JCPOA, why would you make a deal with him? Why would you make a deal with him? He's made it clear that America's likely to break a deal anytime. Why would you he would be the last person that I would suggest making a deal with and feeling confident that deal is going to stay in place. Canada may make a deal with Trump, and one of their premiers or their prime minister, one of them may say some horrible shit about Trump, and he just may say, well, fuck you, I'm not going to honor the deal anymore. He just changed the fucking lake to Lake America just out of anger. So, you know, a lot of people are not, you know, I'm going to say right off the bat, I don't think he's a good guy to make a deal with. He may just break it for whatever reason he wants to. He's kind of shown you that already. So it is what it is. Looking in the comments, and by the way, going to the bots, didn't count. Trump's doing so much illegal shit, and we have law enforcement who can chase me down and hold me at gunpoint. Yeah, but he's in control of law enforcement. That's why. Didn't count. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Hey, so what am I getting wrong? What brings you up?
Well, I was just I came in on the tail end, but I was just watching all of these people in the comments going back and forth, talking about how, you know, Canada's cheating us and we don't need Canada and they need us so bad. I mean, literally going on TV, they are cutting out like this, cutting out like all
the world. The world. Well, I'll just say, I said this on, I think yesterday's live or the day before. I believe that the right, particularly MAGA, has what I personally call a superiority complex, where we believe the United States is so superior that we don't need anybody. Everybody needs us. We treat anybody we want like shit, and they got to put up with it because they need us, and they'll eventually come back crawling us. Trump became president. You often hear them talking about African Americans having victim mentality. Every time Trump victimizing us, NATO's victimizing us, Canada's victimizing us, Mexico's victimizing us, the Ukraine was victimizing. Yeah.
Victimizing our own self. Every president before him is victimizing him.
Yep.
Everybody's we're all being victimized.
Yeah. That's his take, is that everybody was mistreating us. That's what the Liberation Day terrorists were. The whole world was mistreating us, and he terrorized them all at once.
Right. And they're on here talking about, well, Canada has been always abusing us. They've been always tariffing us. That's not fucking true. We know that. A damn trade deal with him, the USMCA, the last time he was in office. He's literally renegotiating a deal that he made, and now these damn Trump sycophants is only talking about, yeah, they've been shitting on us forever, and now we're just shitting back on them.
Yeah.
You can do a simple Google search or ask Alexa, and she'll tell you exactly why Canada backed out of the deal. At the last minute, Trump and his people tried to put some shit in there about controlling their auto industry, their steel and their lumber industries, and telling them they could not deal with other countries. So they backed out because they're a sovereign country. You can't tell them you can't deal with Canada. You're the one who pushed them into Canada's arms.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
It don't take a rocket scientist to figure this shit out. They do not want to look this shit up because it takes away their fucking argument, and they can't sit up here and just be sycophants and just say whatever he does is great. Yes, this shit.
They're gonna still say whatever he does is great, no matter what. They're gonna still say that. I mean, they're literally defending, threatening to attack a NATO member nation that did nothing to America. I don't even think Greenland said anything bad about America. And they were defending him, threatening to attack Greenland and take over Greenland. So they're going to defend whatever he does.
I mean, who in the hell has a fight with their top 10 trading partners? Like, we literally had a fight with Mexico, Canada, the UAE, all of Europe down there, Italy. He just got on TV talking about, fuck it, we just gonna stop fighting with Spain altogether. Like, what? That's not fucking diplomacy.
Yeah. And that's what I got into a debate or an argument somewhat with one of my friends that is MAGA. It was not on social media. We were talking, and he was saying that, you know, how great of a deal maker President Trump is. And I brought up what you said. I said, you know, telling somebody, do what I say or I'm going to kill you is not a deal. I mean, he's basically saying, do what I want you to do or bad shit is going to happen to you. He's not sitting down and doing things diplomatically where it's a give and take. He's just basically telling you, do what I want or we're going to do something to you.
And Melissa that's on.
She says you're lying.
Yeah, but she's saying that they never said that they want to attack Greenland. Bullshit. Trump was talking about if we got to, we would.
Yeah.
You know what the hell he was talking about when he said everything's on the table and all of that shit. We know what the fuck he talking about.
Yeah, he absolutely. I mean, I got a guy that occasionally calls in that lives in Greenland. Yeah, that's why some of the NATO member nations put a small contingent of troops in Greenland and let us know rather that NATO stands with Greenland. Yeah, he absolutely. All of NATO viewed what he was saying as a threat to attack.
Right, and now the other sycophant Kevin O'Leary talking about nobody believed he wanted to attack Greenland. Goddamn, we're whisperers. They need to have them on TV when he say this shit. So we need to know when he says some dumb shit like we need somebody immediately on TV talking about he didn't mean that.
You know something, to be honest with you, it don't matter if he meant it or not. It ain't even something you should joke about. But real quick before we continue on, I want to hear this because this is in regards to what we're discussing.
The other news this evening, President-elect Donald Trump refusing to rule out using the military to take control of Greenland and the Panama Canal, and also saying that Canada should become part of the U.S. Here's Selena Wang.
Trump tonight doubling down on his push to take Greenland and the Panama Canal, refusing to rule out to do it.
Can you assure the world that as you try to get control of these areas, you are not going to use military or economic coercion?
No, I can't assure you on either of those two. But I can say this, we need them for economic security. The Panama Canal was built for our military. I'm not going to commit to that now. It might be that you'll have to do something. Look,
I mean, that's about as clear as you can get to threatening to use the military. I mean, that's about as clear as you can get. So anybody claiming he's lying is fucking off on. I mean, that's about as clear as you can get on it. I mean, he made it clear. They asked him straight up, "Are you going to commit to not using the military?" And he said, "No."
You know what the response from the sycophants was immediately?
What?
Has anybody read the art of the deal?
I don't know, but I mean, but threatening to use the military on Greenland, and you heard the Panama Canal. I mean, look, to me, I don't see any other call it. I know MAGA's not going to like when I say this, but to me, his presidency amounts to one big heist. Not only we're going to take over the Panama Canal, all of this shit is about making money. If we take over Greenland, they got precious minerals and shit that he wants control. The same thing with Venezuela. Same thing with the Panama Canal. All of these are places that make a lot of money. This dude had the plan from day one is I'm going to use my power to get us paid. That's all this is. He's taking over places that have a lot of ways of making money. And the same thing with Iran. He's talking about Karg Island. This dude is going after people's resources. That's all it is.
Right. And one thing I've been meaning is to say on this platform for a long time, I just keep forgetting, is that this dude is running around fighting for this damn $1.7 something billion for these people. Why, if he really believes they got abused, why don't he fucking pay them out of his own pocket? He made $2 point something billion. He's making money hand over fist. If he really believes that they were wrong, why does he need to use my tax dollars to show them that he is in their corner?
Yeah, you're talking about the January 6th folks. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, because he don't have to. I mean, he's going to use what he is doing is creating a virtual mercenary group. Because once you give the January 6th folks, you've already pardoned them. He said nothing negative about their behavior on January 6th at all. He's been positive and soft on them from day one. He's never criticized any of them for what happened on January 6th. So now you've pardoned them. You've called the Patriots. You've sung the national anthem with them and acknowledged them at your campaign rallies. And now you want to give. What you're basically doing is creating a precedent that anybody knows if we do something out of pocket on his behalf, he likely has our back. So you're creating a mercenary force to some degree.
Right. And they were doing, they had a special on the other day talking about that. Now they've got up to 100 of those 1,400 have been recidivists who done
creating more crimes since they got pardoned.
Yeah.
100 of them? Damn.
100.
Wow. Damn. You always hear about how liberals are soft on crime and he let out people and the person goes on to reoffend. 100 J6ers. I know one of them is dead because he got into a gun issue with a state trooper and they had to shoot and kill him. My man. And MAGA's quiet on that. MAGA doesn't have any problem with that.
Most the word.
Yeah. I don't look. They're some folks are going to support president no matter what. Because like I said, I still believe, unlike MAGA reacts, I still believe by protecting the Epstein files, you're likely causing some of those guys to not only avoid justice, but giving them the ability to reoffend little girls in modern time. Right? These are super wealthy guys. You've made it so they were not helpable. If they have that mentality that they like underage women, it's almost certain they're still doing it. So they're looking at Trump with the Epstein files. They're looking at stuff. We're saying this is a great dude. I'm like, how can you be great and doing this stuff at the same time? I don't get it.
And they had a former congresswoman. He's not releasing all of the files is because he's going to hurt some of his friends.
Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene said that. Marjorie Taylor Greene said it. Hang on a second. In the comments, one of my viewers, and thank you for the generosity, Mr. Bright Soul said, Google Epstein connection to Mossad, including Ghislaine. They ran an international blackmail operation for decades. He's saying that the Israeli Mossad is connected to Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein. I'll do it in a minute, but go ahead, Denko.
Her father used to be the head of Mossad. Think about that real quick.
Maybe that's I'm starting to side with Trump. I'm starting to side with Trump.
Ghislaine Maxwell's father was the head of one of the top people in Mossad. Yes.
Then maybe I'm seeing that. Maybe I'm starting to see with Trump. Look, I don't want to fuck with the Mossad. Maybe that's why he ain't releasing the Epstein files. Then listen. I wanted to do everything I could for my people. Trump. I care about little kids, but I ran into a roadblock of epic proportions. I'm starting to side with Trump. If that's the case, if what Mr. Bright saying, that's a lot. You asking me to go up against the Mossad, that's a lot. So
I mean, we paying their salary, man. We should at least have some say. Like, they doing all of this shit to us. We haven't done anything to them. I mean, they done killed a whole bunch of sailors on board of a naval vessel, and it just was like, oops.
Yeah. I mean, Trump is in a unique position. I think, even when I'm thinking about George Washington, he was the most powerful president we've ever had in this country. I don't think we've ever had a president more powerful than Trump.
Yeah, I don't know if he's more powerful, but he has utilized the power in ways that others haven't. Like, whatever he's doing, others could have done it. They followed the Constitution, and they didn't do. They tried to.
I disagree with that. You're saying that other people could have done it, but they operated on the honor system and they didn't do it. I disagree with that because what Nixon did, he got in trouble for and ultimately had to resign. If Trump did that, MAGA would say they were fucking with him. We understand. So I don't think other presidents could have did what Trump is doing. I don't think even their own party members, like in Nixon's case, even their own party members would not have looked the other way. The relation with Trump is unprecedented. I think because of that, essentially pull a Brinks truck the White House. Bush and some of the other ones do that. So I think he's the most powerful.
I guess with the ruling the Supreme Court gave him, I guess,
and that
in another stratosphere.
Yeah, I mean, he literally is arguing that when the Supreme Court gave him immunity, he criticized or defamed E. Jean Carroll while president. So their immunity means he has immunity to defame people. Now, obviously, giving him immunity in concert with the job of president. He said, "No, that means I got immunity. I can go around defaming anybody I want."
Hey, that Fifth Avenue thing is starting to sound more and more realistic.
Yeah.
And look, and I think I told you the other day, I can't remember, but everybody knows that you have that the president has the presidential I forgot what they call it, but where like the people he talked to don't have to testify in court.
Okay. Your confidentiality, yeah.
Yeah, he has the confidentiality.
Thank you, Sheriff 14.
And now the DOJ just put a memo now saying that not only does it apply to people he's talking to, now the people he's talking to have a privilege to people they talk to.
Wow.
So if he tells them to do something illegal, we know right now that his cabinet members and stuff, the Supreme Court said nothing can happen to them. It don't matter if it was a crime or not. It gets different. Now,
do you think let me ask you, based on some of this shit, what are you predicting from the midterms? I mean, look, ain't nothing stopping him from doing all kinds of shit to upset that election. He's got immunity, so any alterations he makes to the midterms, well, I was doing it to save election integrity. I was doing it on behalf of the country. So he has immunity now to fuck with the elections and everything. I mean, what are we expecting?
And now the DOJ is saying even the people he told to do some illegal shit could tell somebody else to do some illegal shit, and nobody can bring them in to court, testify, subpoena, or none of that shit. And you could tell a damn Trump sycophant all of this shit, and they've been abusing him and trying to get him, so it's okay.
Trump 2028, can you say it? I gotta move it on, but I'm gonna tell you, this stuff is frightening to me. If he fucks with the midterms, first of all, the Justice Department ain't gonna hold him accountable. I mean, even if he loses in the midterms, there's still 2 months before those new people are sworn in. All kinds of shit in those 2 months. So
they will enough to know that he's going to allow all of the stops.
I don't see how the Democrats win in the midterms under this. I don't see how they win.
It also don't help that they pushing that legislation to do the integration with the Israelis and basically with Mossad, where they're gonna have a person who's gonna have privy knowledge to all technology and be integrated into the military, which means we're gonna be paying.
They're gonna have to find to me probably if I'm being ultra liberal, I think what they need to do is start in court justices, find out if they were given anything for their actions, and see if you can somehow, some way reverse some of their rulings under the grounds that you profited from it. Because that's where you gotta start. I believe as long as that Supreme Court is there, you can get away with it. They're kind of in it because I got Travelman in the comments saying that what Trump ain't gonna do this stuff because it's just gonna stop it and all that. Do you feel confident the courts?
I think the only thing that will stop him is citizens. The courts ain't gonna stop him. But the Supreme Court ain't gonna stop him. All the lower courts will try to stop him.
Yeah.
But the Supreme Court having the last say, they
gotta get rid of that. That's where it's got. I mean, I'm not a fan of packing the court, but leaving the motherfuckers in place I gotta go. Because they're gonna probably replace Alito and Thomas before it's over with some 30, 40-year-olds. So you're dealing with a 6-3 majority Supreme Court for God knows how long.
We need the Senate. We need the Senate in November because he already said he was not stepping down. Which means if we get the Senate, we can do exactly what they did.
When is this term over?
I think, well, they lifetime, but they renew their term like I think maybe every 2 to 4 years or something like that.
I don't know.
He said he's not stepping down.
Trump may convince him to have a change of heart. Trump is a real convincing kind of guy. I gotta go, Cal. Appreciate it. Thank you. Trump can be real convincing. I'll get in the comments real quick. Tap the screen, help your boy out with the hat, mustache, TikTok cap goes. Haven't seen that in a while if somebody's still out there. Yes, it started under Bush because they said minorities were being discriminated against. They gave them loans and they foreclosed. Tell me I'm wrong. I don't know what you're talking about, Melissa. You're talking to someone else apparently. Well, wait, he helped Fannie. Oh, you guys are talking about student loans. All Trump supporters do is regurgitate conspiracy theories. Yeesh. Being president doesn't mean you get to become a billionaire printing money with you on it. Well, it does for Trump. I mean, we won't know how wealthy Trump, how much Trump enriched himself from the time he's in president until after he's gone, and you got somebody in there you can trust to do audits and things like that. But it's significant. It's anytime they're letting you know he made $2.2 billion in 1 year. It's obviously significant. And I've brought this up before because a lot of my MAGA folks, well, he's a successful businessman. Now, you don't make $2.2 billion in one fucking year. You can take some of the most successful businessmen on the planet. Very few people are making $2 billion in 1 year. I mean, what is $1 billion? 1,000 million? So that means Trump is making, even if he only made $1 billion, that means he's making over $3 million a day. He wasn't making that kind of fucking money as a citizen. $1 billion in a year. That's over what is it? A little bit less than $3 million. A little bit less than $3 million a day to make $1 billion in a year. He made 2.2. Doing what? His companies wasn't cashing in like that. Remember when it was time to pay E. Jean Carroll, he was claiming he didn't even have the money. That dude, he claimed when he left office, he left poor than he came. That dude didn't have that kind of money. So yeah, that's crazy that he's making that kind of money. We'll find out likely, like I said, once he's out of power and you got an entity in there that cares enough to investigate him, it's gonna have to be somebody on the left. Unless you had like I don't know. I mean, it would have to be like a Nikki Haley or somebody on the right that didn't like him that may get, Marjorie Green, who will never be president, but somebody like that would do it. Somebody that don't have that love for Trump, they would go into his finances or order, they would be in favor of letting Congress or somebody do it and getting to the bottom of it. But until that happens, you're just never going to know. But continuing on with the comment section and tap the screen, that whole Ghislaine Maxwell Mossad connection, yikes. They're not stealing the tax dollars, they buying and selling stocks and bonds. Yeah, they're taking tax money too. It's more than just stocks and bonds. For instance, Trump has properties, hotels and shit like that. He travels, like when you go to Mar-a-Lago and stuff, he's putting the Secret Service in his properties, and then his properties are charging the Secret Service the lodging fees and all that comes along with that. So he's basically making you as a taxpayer pay for his travels. I mean, yeah, it goes way beyond just stocks and bonds. You as a taxpayer is paying for stuff he is doing. Now, it goes beyond that. The same thing with giving no-bid contracts to his relatives and friends and shit like that. Like the reflective pool. That was granted on a no-bid contract to one of his donors. Obviously, the guy didn't even know what he was doing. That's why the pool still is all fucked up. Why would you give a no bid contract on a reflective pool? That ain't that pressing that you can't take bids and see who'll do it for cheaper and look into who's the most experienced, and maybe somebody can show you how we were able to do a pool the same way in St. Petersburg, still nice and blue. Why would you not give any bids on that? Why would you just take your guy over everybody? That's taxpayer money. So yeah, the idea that it's only stocks and bonds. No, your taxpayer money is going to that stuff. Them various projects, the ballroom, the tribunal arch. You think he's hiring regular contractors to do that shit? Or do you think he's using construction firms that the head of that firm is somebody who's a donor or somebody he knows? He's transactional. Everything he does, he's looking into whether there's a cut in it for him and things. I mean, that's how he was so successful as a businessman. But as a president, you're not supposed to do that stuff. But I guarantee you, from the reflective pool to the ballroom to the tribunal arch, even to the people putting his name on the front of the Kennedy Center and shit like that. I bet you all of those contractors, if you go high enough up, there's somebody that runs those companies or that is dealing with that work or that scored the contract. Somebody is connected to him doing that stuff. He ain't just looking, he ain't just looking in the yellow pages or saying, recommend me a nice contractor. No, he's connected to those people. There's some kind of change coming from all this stuff. In the comments, dumbass is Trump a baby boy. What? In the comments, and then there always the quiet talk behind curtains that the man is he ain't transparent. Trump is not, which is still good. I personally would prefer a president that addressed the nation often, and Trump does do that, but he's not transparent. Transparent means you're letting us know what you're doing and you're being truthful about it. No, getting up there and saying a bunch of shit that ain't true is not being transparent. Fire. The straight saying stuff that ain't true is not transparent. He's talkative. He'll talk to you, but a lot of stuff he says is not based on fact. All of the networks that criticize him are fake news. It's not transparent. He's just saying. Anyway, tap the screen. I'll go back to the box. Trump's sister helped him, and now he has a position blackmailing people. Yeesh. I saved my house with hard work almost 20 years. Good for you, Melissa. If you want transparency, don't look at any president or the Congress or the something you said, Senate, I guess you're saying. I'm going to say what I've been saying constantly. If you're MAGA, and you're making statements like that, which Hanson Conservative said, if you want transparency, don't look at any president. If you're making statements like that, or when Trump is caught in a lie, you're making statements like, well, show me a president that tells the truth all the time. Or when Trump is caught in financial schemes, well, show me a president that didn't collect money. If those are your answers, and you voted for President Trump, I have to assume you must be really disappointed with President Trump. Because he campaigned and promised over and over again that he was not going to be that. He was going to drain the swamp, expose the corruption. If you got to constantly compare him every time he does something that looks corrupt to somebody else that you were calling swamp creatures, you must be really disappointed by him. Because he promised to be better. He wasn't going to be a typical politician. He was going to expose the deep state. He's going to do all of that stuff. Now all you're doing is comparing them to some creatures. Well, Biden's son did that, or Hunter Biden with Burisma. Whatever happened to the part when Trump is accused of doing something wrong? Whatever happened to the part of, no, he didn't do that? MAGA's not saying that. Anytime you accuse Trump of doing something wrong, they're pointing to somebody else that did something. Whatever happened to just simply say, no, he didn't do that? They're actually admitting that he's guilty. They're just trying to suggest that if I snitch on something too, it kind of downplays it. Not once are you hearing them say, no, he didn't do that. He didn't hide the Epstein files or help pedos, or he didn't get paid. He didn't do it. Bringing up Biden and Obama and all these other people. Yeah, well, I thought they were corrupt when they were in office. Now that Trump is in office, I'm comparing Trump to the people I claim were corrupt. Anyway, let me go back to the box, tap the screen, get the likes on up to 140, if you will. I don't know what I hit there. So it says all they care about is that certain people don't obtain help from the government. That's an interesting point. I asked that question. Should we avoid the Democrats and their socialist policies and all the entitlements and just give the money to Trump? Would we be better off if we'd done that? Avoid giving money to the downtrodden with all these entitlement and socialist programs and just give it to Trump and let him spend it himself. Because I absolutely do believe that's kind of what's going on, is we're canceling programs like that, but we're letting Trump, anything Trump spends money on, we come up with an excuse for why that's okay. Painting statues gold in D.C. Well, don't you want him to beautify D.C.? Gold statues is needed to do that? All of the plaques he has in the White House where he got all these insulting comments about Obama and Biden in the White House, money was spent to put that shit up. Why don't we just say get rid of Democrats and the socialist shit and just get the money to Trump, not spend it on himself? Because that's kind of where I think the right is with that. I want to feed the children, says Debbie. I'm on your side, but I don't. MAGA views feeding children as free shit. Remember, Charlie Kirk said children should not even get a free lunch in school. So MAGA's not a fan of feeding children. Their belief is your church will help you. Don't ask me, your church will do it. That's kind of their, don't force me via my tax money to feed your kids. You should have kept your legs closed or made sure you had enough money before you had children. Or go down to your local church. But no, they don't favor that. Getting rid of Democrats is a great start. No, it ain't, Gen X. No, it ain't, because there's nothing good in store for you either. Right now, we got a Republican Senate, Republican Congress, Republican Supreme Court, and a Republican head of the executive branch. You're not doing well. Democrats don't control the country. The Republicans are not doing well. I mean, they don't have nothing in store for you either. You get rid of the Democrats, that don't mean the economy is going to get better. Think about all of the Republican states. You got a Republican governor. And there's a lot of rampant poverty and everything in many of those states. Democrats ain't got nothing to do with what's going on in Mississippi or Oklahoma and places like that. It's just all red. And the people are struggling. So you can get rid of the Democrats. That don't mean your life's going to get better. I think if you get rid of the Democrats, it might help in eradicating people you don't like. Get rid of the Democrats, and the Republicans would probably outlaw stuff like transgenderism, and maybe you're not a fan of interracial marriage or voting and all that shit. You could probably get that, but they're not going to make your life easier with the economy and stuff like that. Just look what's going on in the state where they're at. The economy in most Republican states is not great. It's not good. Healthcare in most Republican states is not great. Not good. The schools in most Republican states, not great. Not good. Infant mortality rate, life expectancy, not great, not good. Bridges, roads, all that shit. Nothing special about that. And they're all red. There's no Democrats involved in that. It's not that great. So getting rid of the Democrats is not likely to improve your life like that. Tim, let them know that when Trump gets a company to work in White House, its pavilion rate, which costs 3 times the price. Did not know that, but it's believable. The government usually, even taking Trump out of the picture, government contracts usually pay more than private contracts. That's something that has always happened, even if you take Trump out of the picture. So that ain't something unique to Trump. What's unique to Trump, I believe, is that the people getting the contracts are probably almost to some degree giving them kickbacks. That's where the problem is. I believe that Trump is not giving, no bid contracts are almost always corrupt. There's just no reason to have a no bid contract unless you got an emergency going on. Okay, you got 200 houses that were destroyed by a hurricane and people need their houses quick. I can see doing a no bid contract or something like that. We just needed them fixed. Dyeing a reflective pool back blue, there's no fucking need for a no bid contract on that. There's just no need for that at all. Especially when you find out the company that did it was a Trump donor. Name me one thing that the Republicans have done to improve the lives of American working people in the last 50 years. Name me one thing. Says I'd have to think. I'm sure there's something there. Wow, that's a big statement. That's bold. I'd have to bold statement. I'm going to stuff there though. Regulations. Republicans are big at getting rid of regulations. If done properly, it can incentivize creation of jobs and wealth. Let's say, for instance, some regulations are useless. Permits and things like that, and the company having to pay so much for that, or the time it takes to negotiate the regulations, it can hurt companies financially, and in some cases reduce the hiring. So there are some I'm sure there are some regulations that Republicans are responsible for removing or limiting that were beneficial to creating jobs and helping the working man. Now, there's plenty of regulations they've moved that have been harmful too, like OSHA, EPA, and they've removed some harmful ones too. So I'm going to just say I'm sure they've done some of them that, in hindsight, weren't bad. Draco in the comments, we're probably better off feeding a horse than the American McDonald's. I don't have any way I can justify putting the people of Argentina above American cattle ranchers. If Biden had done that, the Republican Party would not stop talking about that. They're, for the most part, not saying a lot about Trump. I'm assuming in some of these towns in rural Texas somewhere, the town hall means power change. But as a whole, MAGA's giving them a pass on that. MAGA's giving Trump a pass. I really do vehemently believe that Trump absolutely, the middle of Fifth Avenue mentality, I absolutely believe that's true. 100%. Have some MAGA questioning whether the person was a threat and needed to be killed. You would have other MAGA questioning whether Trump was the one actually who shot the gun or whatever it took to get the person down. You would have some MAGA saying that the people that witnessed it in the middle of Fifth Avenue, all part of the deep state. But at the end of the day, because all MAGA's not going to witness what happens in the middle of Fifth Avenue. So my guess is they would come up with a way for why Trump was being wrongfully blamed for it. Same thing with January 6th. There were thousands of people there. They came up with, they were being let in and they didn't do anything wrong. So yeah, I absolutely do believe middle of Fifth Avenue is legit. I think they would just come up with a way for why what you saw ain't exactly what you think you saw. Somebody said they would have a blind eye to it. No, I think the witnesses that are there would say, yes, he did, but they would just dispute whether the witnesses were being genuinely factual or not. They would just say the people that are claiming they were deep state or the liberals or they were rhinos, they would just they would discredit the witnesses. Just like they did with all the didn't won the election. They just discredit the people saying it. Just like the FBI agents and stuff that were part of the Epstein file. They just discredit them. They would discredit our witnesses as having not seen what they claim they saw and are just doing it to railroad Trump. They would just discredit it. That's what I think they would do. In 2011, Trump said Obama will start a war. Yeah, I've played that too, EJ. Trump said Obama will start a war with Iran because his poll numbers and economy were struggling. He said it was to stay in power. Now the right has started a war with Iran. And 47 years. Yeah, I actually played that about a month ago or so. Yeah, he did that back in 2012 or whatever, that Obama was going to start a war just to get reelected. And Trump started a war and suddenly Iran. And keep in mind, there was a threat of Iran developing a nuclear bomb back then in 2012. Netanyahu And that was a threat of Iran developing a nuclear bomb back during the Model T. Netanyahu has been saying that shit his entire adult life. But when Trump was saying that Obama was going to do it, it wasn't gung-ho, we need to do this now. Go figure. Regulation is there to prevent cutting corners. Sometimes, not sometimes, Jermaine, sometimes it can be revenue raising as well. Sometimes it's unnecessary. A good example is, I watch Bill Maher. Now, he's a liberal on HBO, and he often talks about all the regulation that he's had to fight through to put solar panels on his home in California. Like, they got regulation in California about plastic straws and shit like that. When I used to be an over-the-road driver, I hated, you know, as an over-the-road driver, you buy your food from Walmart and you go in those places. You go in California, you buy the Walmart because they got the plastic and stuff. You got to buy from Walmart. Most Walmarts in America, the bags are just there. You can bag your grocery, take the California, you got to pay for those things. I got ready to walk out the store and this lady is telling me how much each bag costs. Like, what? I mean, so there is some regulation. I don't know if that's good or not. Go figure, but I do understand what it does in the ocean. So make your argument. But I'm just simply saying all regulation, there's some good, and then there's always an reason why you're doing it. But I don't think all of it is good. I mean, we could talk about, you know, gun laws and shit. There's regulation involved in how owning firearms and things like that. Some people favor it, some people don't. Right? In the comments here real quick, New Jersey does that bullshit now too, huh? Yeah. Well, look, at the end of the day, there are real world examples of what plastic does in the ocean. There's no denying animals eat it and it clogs up their digestive system. It's common to see this because the stuff floats and clings together, so all kinds of other rubbish goes with it. I mean, there are like islands of plastic floating in the ocean, like islands worth of it. So, I mean, there's some argument to be made about plastic. It absolutely does have its environmental harms. So go look at it. And somebody says hemp is the solution and linen for clothing also. Yeah, but the thing is plastic is cheap, and that's where it's coming from. Y'all selfish complaining about this, says Shanti. Could be. Bigger than the state of Texas. Yeah, those garbage islands are ridiculously large. They're ridiculously large. They shouldn't be throwing trash in the ocean anyway. It's cheap.
At the front door.
Once again, it's cheap. You know, it's cheaper to throw your rubbish in the ocean than to have to dispose of it properly. So people do that. How many folks with the LiPo batteries? These things are everywhere. They're in your phones. They're in just about everything you do now has these LiPo or lithium polymer rechargeable batteries. These things are terrible for the environment. Now, this is one that goes inside of one of my remote control planes, but we all throw these things out. I mean, they're in virtually everything. We throw those things in the garbage time. I mean, they power everything from little flashlights and lights on up to big shit. Lithium polymer batteries, they're in everything. So, I mean, people do it because it's convenient. It's cheaper to do it that way. So that's kind of what happens. Hey, you can't even take care of United States' problems. Trump is in it for money. I don't think Trump is in it for taking care of the United States. He's in it for money. So he's making cash. So that's what it's all about. So anyway, folks, I appreciate the 138,000 likes. Nevertheless, I got to terminate the show. You guys know how we do it. We'll come back tomorrow. If you favor this type of dialogue in a MAGA-friendly format, feel free to subscribe if you're watching us currently on YouTube. If you're watching us on Instagram, Substack, TikTok, or Clapper, follow the program, and we'll see you tomorrow. You guys all, it's your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. I got to go. Catch you guys later.